Hello, hello. Trying to get my circle. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Trying to get my circle and I can't get my circle. Oh, well, I guess it's going to be a square today. Greetings, greetings. Hello, one and all. Hi, Ria. I just love you. I don't know if you realize how much I love you, how awesome I think you are. All right, let's get on with the Diva Smackdown. Let's go, let's go. If you're ready, say ready in the comments. Ready in the comments. She signs on every day waiting for MAGA to enter the door. Whether this and that in a sheepish grin. Look out, MAGA, she's about to begin. She's got moxie, it runs through her soul. She's the queen of SmackDown, yeah, it's her role. She invites the MAGA to challenge her fight. Careful where you tread, cause she's got bite. Come see Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queen. MAGA tries to argue, but they have no wit. Diana hit him with facts when they start talking shit. Your logic's a mess, your facts are weak. Go step aside, boo, I've got truth to speak. She's got a heart of gold, but her force is steel. Don't ever talk over her, cause she'll make you squeal. From Twitter to TikTok, she's roaming the streets. Diana's got game, and she's hard to beat. Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queen. She's got a megaphone and a platform to preach. Running her show in the TikTok streets. Equality for all and respect for her crew. Come meet Sir Val and Gemma the Jewel. With Magus in the corner, looking kind of small as they stumble over word and begin the free fall. Diana delivers the end game stunner. She says, "Oh, look, we have a winner." A crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong. She's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. So raise up our glasses and give her a follow. Come see her make all the MAGA twits swallow. With her wit and her wisdom, she's got game. Diana's a legend, and we all know her name. Stop being so emotional. Thank you to Hey Jude for my awesome theme song. You can also get that on Spotify. Add that to your workout playlist. I promise you it's very, very motivating. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. I am looking to talk to some Trump supporters today, Trump voters. So if you voted for Donald Trump, you're going to hit the guest request button and come on up. Let's have a chit chat. I'm going to bring up my backup account here in just a moment. Come on. All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button and come on up. Trump is not living in my head. Trump is the president of the United States right now. So he ain't living in my head. He just happens to be the unfortunate soul that's in office right now. Not that he lives free. That motherfucker won't go away. Oh, thank you. I love the little doggy. So if you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up. Let's have a conversation. Let me bring up my backup account and we'll get right into it. Hey, everybody over on YouTube and Twitch. Great to see you. All right. All right. We got a problem here. Give me 1 second.
All right. I think I froze there for a second. Just give me 1 minute. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. Let's have a conversation. All right. There we go. Turn my volume up. All right. I'm waiting for my first Trump supporter. Let's go. Where are you at? I know you're in here. Everybody else, just keep hitting that screen to keep us on the For You page. Appreciate you so much. If you voted for Donald Trump, I would like to have a conversation with you. So hit the guest request button and come on up. Let's chat. All right. Everybody just keep tapping the screen. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Why are you so scared? I see you in here. I see Trump supporters in here. Um, let's talk about if you still support this man, why? Why? Hit the guest request button and come on up and let's have a chat. Let's talk. Here we go. Somebody's coming up. Hi, Kyle. Hi, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm in Arizona, and I voted for Trump.
Yeah, I said, how old are you?
47.
Okay.
How old are you?
52. And I'm in Florida.
Cool.
Yeah. So, why do you still support Donald Trump, even though he's breaking the Constitution and ignoring federal court orders and Supreme Court orders and all of that?
That was a lot there, but I voted for Trump to secure the border and to keep the sick men out of women's sports.
Do you know that there's more women that have accused Donald Trump of essaying them than there are college athletes that are transgender?
That are what?
Transgender.
Men playing in women's sports?
No, I said transgender. I said, do you know that there's more women have accused Donald Trump of sexual assault than there are transgender athletes?
Why did your team vote for men to play in women's sports?
We don't vote for men to play in women's sports. That's not what I'm talking about. And I want you to answer my question.
Oh, you sure did. Every single senator did.
No. Could you please tell me?
Every single Democrat
senator. What does it have to do with anything? What team?
I know you don't like it.
What team?
But that's
what team are they playing on? What team?
Your Democrat team did that.
Oh my God, you're so dumb.
Your team, the anti-MAGAs.
No. I'm asking you what team are transgender transgender women playing on?
I don't know what that is, but I'm talking about the men that are in women's sports.
How many and where? Who are they?
The Democrats.
Who?
I don't know who they are.
How many are there? How many transgender athletes are in college?
Well, I don't know the answer. I know the number should be.
It's less than 10. So what? This is not just because transgender women play in women's sports does not make the economy better. It doesn't make kidnapping people off the street, sending them to concentration camps better. So none of that. Transgender athletes has nothing to do with anything. They don't affect you. They don't affect your life. They don't affect my life. They don't.
You want men in your daughter's locker room?
I want men don't need a reason. They don't need to dress up as women to assault women. Okay, we get assaulted just by straight men. We get assaulted by men. We get assaulted by men. They don't have to dress up. They don't have to dress up as women. Okay. I don't allow men to speak over me. So when I'm speaking, you're not. Okay. So make sure you know your place in this live.
Stay cowardly.
Stay cowardly? No, I just don't allow men to speak over me. That's really not hard.
You're a coward. Stand up for women.
I am standing up for women. I'm standing up for transgender women. They're less than 1% of the population. Why do you care? You're just a bigot.
I'm a bigot because I want women to be safe in private spaces.
You don't give a shit about women. Tell me three women athletes. Name 3 women athletes.
What does that have to do with it?
Because you don't give a shit about women's sports. You don't give a shit about women's anything. You don't care about women.
All right.
Can I ask you, why were you okay with Donald Trump walking into the dressing room of Miss Teen USA pageants that he bragged about on the Howard Stern show because he could? In different states of undress? In different states of undress. That's a man going into women's locker room, women's spaces.
Playing sports? Was he playing against them in sports?
That's not what you said. You just asked me if I didn't want to protect women. Shut the fuck up when I'm talking. You asked me, do I not want to protect women from women being safe in women places? I'm talking about in a dressing room for a Miss Teen USA pageant that he said he walked into because he could, because he owned the pageant. He had to inspect their bodies.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, you want to hear the clip?
You don't need to know the woman.
Do you want to hear the clip? Do you want to hear the clip?
No, I want you to.
Oh, no, of course you don't. Of course you don't, because it's Trump, right? Of course you don't, because it's Trump, right? Yeah, you don't give a shit about
what a woman is, I'll listen to it.
Can you? Can you?
Answer?
No, I'm asking, can you?
You appear to be a woman. You would probably know more than I do.
You voted for a man who harms women. You voted for an administration filled with men that harm women. You don't care about women. You want to harm women further by thinking you're in control. That's why you have to come up
Exactly.
and control a woman who's a host.
Oh
Because
my
you
God.
have no backbone. You can't name women athletes. You don't know what sports they're playing in. You are nothing but a pathetic little man.
Look at you.
You're a pathetic little man. You're a micro man, Kyle. You're a micro man, Kyle.
You can't answer.
Micro. Everything about you, your brain, your vocabulary, your ability to construct sentences fully,
There we
you are a micro mini
You
man.
get mad when you
Tiny little pathetic man. You don't
You get
protect
mad
women,
when you
you
lose.
harm women.
I
You
love it.
harm
Stay mad
women.
because you're losing.
Kyle, you harm women. See, the difference between you and I, Kyle, is I actually know what I'm talking about versus micro men like you. Small
Let me ask you
brain.
a question, Miss
small
Know what you're
egos.
talking about.
Oh, excuse me, big egos, right?
Let me ask you a question,
Oh,
Miss
that's
Know.
the only thing about Kyle.
You're
is
gonna talk
his
over me because you
ego.
can't. You're
And his
scared. That's
big
a total
mouth. He has
tactic
a
of a
big,
scared person.
giant mouth who thinks he can come up and harm female hosts because that's what men like Kyle do. But Kyle, you don't understand something, boo-boo. The world's changing. We're not putting up with your shit anymore. We're setting boundaries and we're holding you accountable. And you can vote for all the micro men you want to vote for, Kyle, but we've called your number. We've got you, dude. You're on the rails. You're never going to be successful at anything in your life other than trying to bully and harm women because you are a micro man. A tiny little
Tell me you want men in
pollywog in
women's
the
sports.
pond of life.
Tell me.
Yes, we use you as bait, Kyle, for all the other pollywogs. That's who you are.
Keep talking
You're
because
a
you're
micro
scared.
man, Kyle. Micro
What
man.
are we scared
Where's
of,
the
Kyle?
stupid giggle now, Kyle? You notice you're not giggling now when somebody brings
Shut
the
the fuck up
thunder
and I'll
to
say
you?
something.
Where's your stupid giggle now, Kyle? Where's the crazy
Constantly
queen?
you're losing.
Where is it,
So
Kyle? See
you
how it
lost, you're done.
works, Kyle? When you try to talk over a woman that actually calls your shit out, you aren't gonna get a word in edgewise here, boo.
Because you're scared.
Not gonna happen. No,
Scared.
Kyle. See, this woman isn't gonna
So
take
scared.
your shit.
What are we scared of, Kyle?
Where's
Scared.
the
That's
crazy
pathetic.
laugh
There's probably
now,
other
Kyle?
girls listening.
Kyle.
Where's the name?
People are
Where
like,
is it?
Kyle.
Where is it, Kyle?
And they're gonna get
Where
hurt.
is it, Kyle?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle, what are we scared of? Okay, hold on, please. One moment. One moment, please. Kyle, what are we scared of?
Well, whatever that thing was, wouldn't shut the fuck up. Is scared because they don't want them.
No. See, the anger
Exactly.
Can't handle it.
That's
I'm
not
not a saint.
100%
I'm not a
not
saint.
woman.
You're gonna come correct. You're not gonna come at all, Kyle. You are terrified of women. You are terrified of women.
I terrified of men and women's sports. We should
You
be
are a
too.
micro mini man. You are a pollywog in the pond of life.
But where'd he go? Did he run or did he get kicked?
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch him. I
He
wanted
just
that
went
guy.
down. He may have gotten taken out by TikTok.
I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you're just scared. You want women in your. I don't care.
No,
Men do not need to dress up as women to attack us and to harm us. They do it every day. So it's a dumb argument.
No, I know. I just want to make sure y'all understand something. This is a new tactic that they're using. They want to go down this road. They want to bring this back to life and give this fire again. Do not let them. Cut it off at the horns. These are not the issues we're fighting right now. These are not issues that affect our country.
Exactly. That's what I told him. I said, what does this have to do with people getting kidnapped off the streets and sent to concentration camps? What does transgender people have to do with that? Nothing. It's not going to help the economy. It's not going to do anything. So what the hell is the point? I asked him at the beginning. I'm like, what does this have to do with it? Nothing. Because they can't defend what's happening. They can't defend sending people to concentration camps. They can't defend the economy being in the shitter. They can't defend anything. So they have to go to the only thing they know, and they're with the woman. Watching the debates.
They're trying to build a separation, and that's, and I'm going to be honest with you, we successfully let them do this for years on this app. And I'm to the point now that if they bring that up, that's not a subject we're going to discuss. You want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go to a room with people that all they talk about is that subject, go to that room. But here, you're not going to talk about it. We are talking about politics and what's happening in the world today, right now, that truly affects American people.
Exactly.
The thing is they're the ones that support a known adjudicated sexual assaulter. They're the ones who support an administration filled with them. Robert F. Kennedy, Pete Hegseth, Elon Musk, Donald Trump himself, McMahon's husband, all of them predators, every single one of them. So don't come up into our spaces as women and try to tell us that you care about women or women's sports or women of any kind while you're literally voting for the people harming women. And let's just be very clear, it is men that harm women.
Correct.
Men.
Hey, Jim, what about the majority of women that are against?
Okay, no one has even addressed you yet.
Nobody's talking to you. And you made my point just by opening your fat mouth.
How old are you, Jim? I want to see something.
No, I'm the host. Hello.
You have no control here.
I'm the host. I haven't welcomed you. I haven't acknowledged you. Excuse me. I can already see how this is going to go. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
I'm 38 and I voted in Florida.
Okay.
Jim,
Did you vote for Trump?
Of course. Jim, how old are you? I'm curious. I gotta know.
Why does it matter?
Because he sounds like a little girl.
A little girl?
Val's old enough to be your father.
Come on, be honest.
I sound like a little girl?
Yeah, Jim's not talking now. I'm talking.
Are you talking to Jem or Val? Why does it matter? I don't understand.
I don't know what it is about, sir. I don't know what it is about all the personal attacks. Can you come up here and have an actual conversation?
Oh, absolutely. So
Hold
that's
on.
my question.
Hold on. No, you're going to let me finish speaking.
Okay.
Are you going to come up here? Are you going to have an actual conversation about the politics and the things that are affecting this country today, right now?
Absolutely. Just tell the host don't mute me when I trigger your asses and when I respond, because y'all love to pull that trigger.
So, I'm going to go with no.
I was waiting. I knew you were going to do it. As soon as he said the hose, I'm like, oh, he's going to be gone. Tiny, tiny, tiny little bit, short. Teeny, tiny, short. Coming up into women's spaces. He only wants to talk to Val. Okay. Teeny little short. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Hopefully you can do better than these clowns. Did somebody come up? No, okay.
I'm not sure who Jay Lacey is.
I'm not either. I'm going to bring him up because I'm not sure. Oh, wait.
This is somebody else.
Oh, who's this?
No.
Rachel. Okay. Hi, did you vote for Trump?
100%.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
52 in New York.
Okay.
Can you do something with your background noise? You got a TV or something in the background that's coming over.
Hold on.
Are you back with us, Rachel? I need to send her an invite.
Are you sending? I don't want to send it at the same time, so I'll let you send it.
So,
Okay. Because if we do it at the same time, then it locks them out from being able to go off for like,
30 minutes.
and they get that 30-second wait. Okay, Rachel's back. Okay, Rachel's back.
Yes, I am.
Why didn't you turn your TV down?
Still hearing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So what did you? You're cool with Donald Trump kidnapping people off the streets and sending them to a concentration camp in El Salvador?
Yeah, they belong to their country.
No.
How that works?
They came here illegally in the first place, which just shouldn't have been here.
Nope.
Man, where did you come from?
With an accent. Jamaica, of course.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Should we send you back to your country?
If I'm not abiding by American rules and laws.
Well, these people actually abided by American rules.
They sure were.
Got sent out.
I don't think so.
Yes,
It doesn't matter what you think. The facts are that this person was here legally. The person, excuse me, he was here legally on protected status that the Trump administration gave him in 2019. And he's checked in with ICE every single year ever since then. 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24. No one's ever accused him of being MS-13. No one's ever accused him of anything. He had a work permit. He joined a union. He was here legally. And his order of protection was specifically that he could not be deported to El Salvador. Specifically. And the Trump administration sent him anyway. If he was a gang member and he was part of MS-13 and he was part of all that, then why did Donald Trump give him a work status? Why did he check in with ICE in 2019, 2020, 21, 22, and nobody never had a problem, never committed a single crime? You can unmute. Where's Poetic?
He was in there a second ago.
Yeah, I know. Did he?
So is Rachel saying that she's concerned about legal status? Rachel, are you concerned about criminals? Yes, I'm concerned about safety. Really, you are? Are you concerned that you voted for a convicted felon?
That doesn't follow the law?
It was what they did to him. It was no, Rachel. No, I was asking you a question and you cut me off. So if you're concerned about law, if you're concerned about criminality, then why would you vote for a convicted felon? And he wasn't just convicted for one crime. He was convicted for 34 counts of a crime that they were able to produce evidence, a grand jury, an investigation, an actual jury, where his lawyers helped pick the jury, by the way. So it wasn't fraudulent, Rachel. It was a real trial because he was afforded due process under the law. He was also adjudicated for sexual assault and defamation. He was found liable for that as well. He was also found liable for fraud for a charity for sick children. He was also found liable for fraud for a university where he wasn't actually teaching anyone anything but stealing their money and had to pay $25 million back. He was actually found liable for fraud also where he borrowed money from a wounded veterans organization. So please enlighten me about how you're concerned about criminality while you vote for a continual fraud and a continual tax evader and a continual criminal. Go ahead.
It's all fake and it's all weaponizing the government. That's all.
No, ma'am, that's so.
In my head, I can't even believe one
Ma'am.
time
In your head.
Speaking Russian propaganda?
Can I answer
Quit
her
speaking,
question?
no, because you're speaking
Can I
Russian
answer her
propaganda.
question?
No, because you're speaking. No,
I can't believe.
no, it's because you're spewing Russia. You're spewing Russia propaganda, which is wrong and it's dangerous. Which is the only reason why we're not letting you speak is because it's wrong and it's dangerous and it's Russia propaganda. You have bought into the propaganda. Okay. I do not allow lies and misinformation and disinformation to be spread on my live. That is the only reason why. If you were just having a conversation and saying your own thoughts, we would not be stopping you. But when you're repeating actual Russia propaganda, I have to stop you. So if you can say something on your own, but all the weaponized DOJ, that's what Trump is doing. He's weaponized his DOJ to go after his political rivals and enemies and people who prosecuted him for January 6th. That's literal weaponization of the Department of Justice, okay? Nobody went after Donald Trump for no reason. He committed crimes. So if you want to tell us your thoughts, but if you're going to keep spewing Russia propaganda, I'm going to have to let you go. But I would love to hear you if you could say something that wasn't Russia propaganda. You can speak. You can unmute. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Rachel, you can unmute. I'd love to hear your thoughts as long as it's not Russia propaganda.
You guys are pathetic. I can't believe I was Democrat. I cannot believe I was this dumb all this time.
Yeah, you never were Democrat because you don't go from believing in people's human rights to violating them and taking them away. You're just mentirosa.
You're a disgrace to women and your community all in one shot.
That's true. Jay. Oh my, that was loud. Sorry. Did you vote for Trump?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for Trump voters right now. Jim and Val are on my panel every day, which is why I have them up here, but I'm only looking for Trump voters. But thank you. W's for Jay for not voting for Trump. Oh, God. It's funny how you lose an argument. Who lost an argument? Troy.
Yeah.
Turn down your TV, please.
Hold on. Let me turn down the TV. Yes. Good. Good. Okay.
Okay. How old are you? What state did you vote in?
I'm 50. I'm living in Alabama right now, better known as Alabama, so don't start throwing a temper fit. And I voted for Trump.
Nobody cares that you live in Alabama.
Well, I said Alabama.
Okay. Anyway.
And Democrats throw a fit about it.
Nobody cares, Troy. Nobody cares.
Anyway, what did you come up? What did you come up to say?
Okay, you're saying that the last 8 years, all these charges got thrown at Trump all at once.
They weren't all at once.
Well, in the past 8 years.
Yeah. Well, no, just the last 4 years because they couldn't prosecute him while he was president. So they had to wait till after he was president, which if you remember, Mitch McConnell said that when they were doing the impeachment of Donald Trump over January 6th. He said, we're not going to remove him because if he did something criminal, we'll just let the courts take care of it after he's out of office. So the courts filed charges, and you guys are like, weaponize the DOJ, when literally was what Mitch McConnell's whole entire thing was about not removing him from office was to let the courts deal with it once he got out of office. So what happened is they had to wait till he wasn't president anymore to file the charges. There was no mystery. There was no mystery like, oh, we're just going to find all these things to charge him with. It's just that some of these things happened and they had to wait for him to leave office because you can't indict a sitting president.
Like you said, some of them could have happened.
No, they all happened. But
Troy, were you on a live earlier today and you said that you regretted voting for Trump?
No.
Yeah, several people in this live have said that you were on a live earlier making rounds saying that you regretted voting for Trump.
No. Why would I want to?
Your whole tone just changed. You're lying.
I'm a first-time voter.
at 50,
That's even worse.
I'm 50 years old.
why have you not voted before now?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Give it a try.
I've done studies on every one of these politicians.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I bet you did in depth.
Q2 doesn't count, Troy. Not in Alabama or any other place.
Jesus Christ.
I've done studies on every one of these politicians, and I would
Hold
never.
on, Tony, pop quiz. When did Trump first run for office?
From what I remember, it was like 2007.
Something. In-depth research. There you go.
When did Trump get sued by the federal government for discrimination?
Okay, let me
When
go
did
in
Trump get
that.
sued by the government for discrimination?
Back in the 70s, I believe.
Yeah, win.
Okay.
73. But I'll help you. Go
How many
ahead.
times? How many times?
It's like there's a whole decade of the 70s.
Let me
It's like
ask
there's a whole decade in the 70s.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Can you?
Now, Trump was held liable because his employees denied. But when
What?
That's a nice little Spencer nose.
What?
It was Trump.
You
He
gonna
was
have
the
me
person that would write C on the
Applications.
application. He was the person that went into his casino and he had certain friends coming that said that we got to clear all the dealers of color out.
Oh, Trump actually said that.
Yes.
Yes. I thought you did in-depth research.
Let me see that.
I thought you did in-depth research, Troy.
Let me see that. 'Cause I haven't seen that yet.
You won't believe it even if we show you.
Trump expert.
Here, I'm gonna give you a little research for you. It's called TrumpFile.org.
Yeah.
It involves every case that he's ever been involved in his entire life.
Correct. It's actually linked in the link tree in my bio. If anybody wants to find it, the TrumpFile.org is in the link tree in my bio. It's court cases, Troy. Not made up, not democratic, not anything. It has court documents and all of that.
Only thing I see in the .org is bashing Republicans. I never see anything about a Democrat. I always see.
Tell me what did Joe Biden do wrong?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Does St. Jude bash Republicans?
This is so dumb. No.
Does St. Jude bash Republicans?
What have they said about a
Does
Democrat?
St. Jude bash Republicans?
What have they said about a Democrat?
They don't talk about either. They're a .org.
I've looked
What
up
about the Central Park 5, Troy? What about the Central Park 5? How do you feel about that?
one of the kids came up and told the officer they did it.
They were exonerated. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They were exonerated by DNA evidence, and Donald Trump said they should still be unalived.
What about Hunter Biden?
Nope. Nope. Absolutely not.
Don't deflect.
Nope.
Don't deflect.
No. No.
5 young men were picked up that were under the legal age to be questioned alone, and they questioned them and questioned them and questioned them until one of them, you said, confessed. That's what you just said. And they were underage, and they were prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law, and many of them served up to 16 years in incarceration and were found to be innocent of any crimes based on DNA and the confession of the actual person who committed the crime. So you have a sitting POTUS who literally took out a full-page ad and asked for their execution and has never apologized, even though they were exonerated. That's the problem with people like you, Troy.
I'm not saying Trump's perfect.
Oh, here we go.
Are you
Here we go.
perfect?
Yeah, I'm perfect when it
Compared
comes
to that
other
shit,
people.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
And you've been voting all this time, and you're perfect.
I am.
18 years since I was 18 years old, sir.
Sure
And
have.
I'm older than you, Troy. And I'll tell you something else. It is my civic duty to ensure that when I vote for people, I make sure they're not convicted criminals. I make sure they're not adjudicated assaulters. That's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Is we vote for the collective good, Troy. We vote for the collective good. We don't vote for our personal gain. We vote for the collective good of society.
Collective good. Let's see. Handout, 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 handout.
Troy, you know what? You could use a handout right now. It sounds like you're missing a few.
I mean, that's all you all think about, our handout.
Who has said anything about a handout?
Troy, my taxes pay for red states. I live in California, boo. I pay a hell of a lot of money every year so that red states can feed their kids. So miss me with your bullshit.
All Alabama gets is handouts.
You pay all this money.
Okay, Troy, no, stop.
I'm gonna kill my team.
Stop.
Homeless.
Stop.
You can't even take care
Stop.
of people.
Okay, I know that you guys don't understand about consent. I'm telling you to stop. That doesn't mean keep going, Troy.
That doesn't mean they keep going.
Excuse me. I would rather my tax dollars go to a single mother trying to feed children. I would rather my money go to a homeless person to have housing. I would rather my money go to help people that need it than $8 million fucking dollars of our taxpayer dollars going to Elon Musk every day. Every single day. $8 million a day Elon Musk gets of our taxpayer dollars. I would much rather someone get it in WIC or food stamps or housing assistance or medical care, Medicaid.
Okay, why does California have such a high rate?
Can you respond to what I'm saying?
And how many women just spread their legs to have these kids?
Oh, there it is. There's the toothless Troy.
Disgusting.
It's true.
Get the fuck off my live.
Sister, cousin, wife to go talk to. A sister, cousin, wife.
He'll never be back because I just blocked him. I don't want that trash in here. Fucking disgusting pig.
That's what they do when they lose. Hey, I'll be right back. Mom's got an appointment, a phone call, so I'll come back right after.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love ya.
Bye, Jim.
Such fucking filth. Thank you guys for knocking out all these goals. You guys are killing it today. Thank you. So disgusting. They're so sick. They're sick in the head. They're literally sick. They need professional help. Honestly. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. All I have is friendlies up here requesting. I'm not bringing up any friendlies at this time. Thanks for being here. I'm really happy. I'll bring up friendlies at 6 p.m. Eastern. You're right. You only have 3 followers, so I don't bring anybody up that's under 10 followers because you're usually bots or you just come up here and spread slurs. So I'm not interested. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Thank you, guys. I've been watching these debates in Texas today, which I'm having serious FOMO because I was really considering going, but I'm like really sad that I'm not there. But I've been watching these Texas ones on the Texas A&M University campus, and it's the same thing, Val. Every single one of them that come up to debate or to talk about anything, they're like, "Can you tell me what a woman is?" That's all they want to talk about. That's all. They are obsessed with people's genitals, and it's really, really gross. It's really gross. It has nothing to do with what's happening in the country right now. It's just so insignificant. That's all they want to talk about. It's just gross. Jones gave a master class to 3 young men today that was in gender. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. I am looking for Trump voters to have a conversation with. Rick C., thank you for the $5 Venmo. Let's do a $5 challenge from Rick C. Okay. Rick is doing a $5 challenge. If you'd like to help support my live, I'd really appreciate it. He's challenging everyone that's watching right now. If you can or if you want to, send $5 to my Cash App or Venmo to help support my live. I am here every single day, 7 days a week. I do this full time for you guys, and I really appreciate your support if you can or want to. Thank you, Rick, for the challenge. I appreciate it. All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just going to block you because you're just annoying me now. I keep telling you not to come here. Stop requesting. You're right. I'm not bringing you up. So unless you want to be blocked and never see me go live again or ever have a snowball's chance in hell in talking to me, stop requesting. I'm not bringing you up. You have 3 followers. That means you're either a bot or you're just coming up here to slur. And I'm not interested. Thank you. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. I am looking for Trump voters to have a conversation with. So if you voted for Donald Trump, I'd love to talk to you. So come on up. Let's chat. Oh my God, this fucker. Nope. Now they're getting blocked. After all that, they still requested again after I dropped them. So now they're gone. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Hey, Randy Blue Dad. I love you. I love your content so much. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Let's go. Request up. Who did I make fun of anyone's disease? Oh, you're an idiot. You're here every day. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Let's go. Let's have a conversation. Looking for conversation with Trump voters. Come on up. Everybody else, let's get up to 150K. We should definitely be at least to 200 by now. It's been almost an hour. Y'all get to tapping. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. If you voted for Donald Trump, we're looking to talk to you. If you're a Trump supporter, we invite you up and you do not come up, you're probably going to get muted in the comment section because we want you to come up and have a conversation instead of hiding out in the comment section. So please come on up. Molly girl, come on up. Come on up, Molly girl. P-Heg Seth is lying out his ass. If you voted for Trump, hit the guest request. Let's go. Looking for Trump voters to have a conversation with. Yeah. Hi, everybody on YouTube and Twitch. Great to see you. They're too humiliated by their choice. Well, that's what I think. Either they regret their vote or they can't defend what's going on. That's what I've deduced because it's really hard to get Trump voters up here because they literally can't defend what is happening or they regret their vote and they're embarrassed. And they should be embarrassed, to be honest with you. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. I am looking for, yeah, Brett Cross is there. Donald Trump hasn't really tried to go anywhere. That I don't know if he's been denied entry in any countries, because being a convicted felon, he can't go to some countries. But I don't know if he's ever tried. Yeah, my backup just dropped off. Hold on, let me bring it back up. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Aethers, come on up here. You're here every day and you just chirp in the comments. So now you've been muted. Yeah, Brett's there. Johnny's there. Pickles, Mermaid, Dan, Chris. Everybody's there. Parker Dean. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. LRAM61, why don't you come up? 0 followers? Oh, okay. Yeah, if there's 0 followers, don't invite them up. Because you know they're just going to crash out or slur or be stupid. I'm not interested in their foolishness. All right. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Not yet, he hasn't. I am interested in a conversation. I match energy. You're going to be a dumbass or you're going to be spewing Russian propaganda. I'm going to stop you. Oh, yeah, I heard Trump's going to the Pope's funeral. They better be careful that he doesn't spontaneously combust when he walks into the church. I mean, he militarized our border, but that's not exactly enacting martial law, so no.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll wait to see how Italy handles this, though.
Exactly. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. They're just hiding in the comment sections, Val. Well, is Italy going to let him in?
That's going to be the question. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to...
Especially to the Vatican?
Oh, no, that's a different thing. I mean, you know, else, but the Vatican controls the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? So, but getting into the country, that's going to be an interesting scenario.
I would love, oh my God, I would love if he was mid-flight and they were going to land and Italy says no and make them turn the plane around. Humiliate that motherfucker on the world stage. Send a message. Send a message.
I think they ought to let him land and then deport him.
If you're not hiding, then why aren't you requesting up? Becky's like, nobody's hiding from you, so I requested her up. Did she come up? No. Nobody's hiding from you, as they hide in the comment section. Oh, you guys are so pathetic. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Jesus Christ. Only communists feel that way? What? Thomas, come up here and define communist. Hit the guest request, Thomas. Come on up. What's a communist? Come give me a definition. If you can give me a definition, I'll cash up you $10. But you got to come up right now so you don't have time to Google it. That's what I thought. Stay in the comments, coward. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. Let's have a chit chat. Oh, Willy Wonka wants to cry too. So wow, Willy. Come on, Willy. Oh, you only have 2 followers? Nobody gives a shit what you have to say. Or people would follow you.
There's no controlling the narrative. I mean, we're talking about politics.
I'm talking about what's happening right now. There's no controlling the narrative. It's so stupid. It's just so dumb.
You want to talk about the narrative? Look at the guy that's in the picture.
Yeah, talk about controlling the narrative, right? Finally got my circle. All right. Do we have somebody, or is this going to be a friendly? No, it looks like it might be, actually. Okay. Looks like we might have us a Trump voter.
I'm
If you guys want to help support my live real quick while we're bringing up the next guest, there's a $5 challenge going right now to send $5 to my Cash App or Venmo to help support my live. I am here every single day, 7 days a week from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm crowdfunded. So I appreciate any and all support. Thank you. Jacob, hi. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
26, New York.
Okay.
The Trump out, what do you call it? The outragement towards Trump is I don't know, it's kind of unhealthy, don't you think? I mean, I don't think he's done anything too bad.
Well, I gotta get a dictionary.
Let me get a dictionary because I don't know what outragement is.
Oh, I meant outrageous.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say that's not a word.
Outrageous.
Outrageous what? Because he's kidnapping people off the streets and sending them to concentration camps in other countries like they did in 1930s Germany, and we're being outrageous?
He's not doing that. ICE is doing that.
At his direction.
I knew this talking point.
At his direction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew this talking
Was
point
going to come. Yep.
No, sir. He's president of the United States.
That's right.
He put the people in place that are putting this plan out there. He's the one missed me with he's not involved in what's going on. When he came out and said that man is never coming back into this country, and he
Correct.
put post on his True Social
A Photoshop photo.
jobs. You know what I'm saying? So miss me with that. He's involved. He's the president. The buck stops there.
Okay.
And ICE has not been doing that ever in this country. We've never, well, maybe the Japanese internment camps, but a long time ago. But ICE is relatively new. There was no ICE, right? ICE has not been doing that. Deportation is a legal process. What they are doing is not a legal process because they don't have due process. They're snatching them up off the road and sending them to torture chambers. Okay. That is un-American and it is illegal. And the Supreme Court told him that he had to facilitate that man's return. And he is defying the Supreme Court, which is also illegal.
And then they also told him that he could no longer use the Alien Enemies Act.
Correct.
These are the things that we are upset about, sir. And the word you were looking for is outrage.
And we should be. You should be outraged at it too.
Well, no, because the reason why I'm not outraged because of all this happening with people being
Because you're 26 years old, you don't understand the Constitution and what it means to this country.
I do know the Constitution.
Or he didn't learn about World War
You
II.
understand that if the Constitution is broken for one, it's broken for all.
I do understand the Constitution, but I don't feel like we are in any sort of constitutional crisis.
No.
Why?
What's the first part of the First Amendment?
The first part, like, you want me to list all of it, or?
He just said, what's the first part of the First Amendment?
It's actually called something.
Oh yeah, the freedom of speech.
No. The first part of the First Amendment is referred to as the Establishment Clause.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, it's referred to as the Establishment Clause. The second part of the Second Amendment, or the First Amendment, is the freedom of the press. Then freedom of speech. Then our right to regress the government. Okay, that's all the parts of the First Amendment. The first one he went after the other day when he said we need to become a more religious country. We're not founded on religion, sir. That's what the Establishment Clause was for.
Yeah, it says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances.
I didn't even read that, and I got it all in the right order.
Exactly. And what is Donald Trump refusing to allow AP News into the White House press pool? Kick them out because he used verbiage that he didn't like. Wouldn't that be against the First Amendment also?
I would, but he probably has some sort of like unbiased opinion. I believe the AP
No. You know why?
He said unbiased.
Unbiased. Yeah, AP News is actually a very centrist organization. But do you know what they did? What their grievous error was? Do you know? If you don't know, just say you don't know.
I do not know.
Okay. They called the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico. And they said they did that because they are an international publication and only people in America. Where'd he go? I didn't remove him, and TikTok had to have gotten him because none of my mods took him down either. He was respectful, so I didn't.
Dang, I was gonna say, Val, I want I don't know the Constitution for 200.
I don't know the Constitution for 200.
Y'all, pocket Constitution. They're super cheap.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because they called it the Gulf of America, called it Gulf of Mexico instead of the Gulf of America. The rest of the international world still calls it Gulf of Mexico. And so they said, since they are an international newspaper, they were not, or publication, they were not going to change it to Gulf of America because they have international audiences. That's why they were kicked out of the White House press pool. That's literally it. That's their gravest error.
Right. I mean, there's the AP, like I said, they're the AP News. But he's also gone after people that have exercised free speech, and he's gone after them. He deported one.
The people on the college campuses that were protesting, that's protected under the First Amendment. You're allowed to peaceably assemble.
Right, and that also covers the last part of the First Amendment, to peacefully regress the government. Okay, the First Amendment. When people talk about the freedom of speech part of the First Amendment, what they don't understand is that doesn't protect you from me or Jim or Diava. Okay?
Right.
Your consequences of speaking to us in a certain way are consequences. The only thing it protects you from is the government.
And the government's coming after people. There's the problem. Now he's going after 60 Minutes. And
60 Minutes and CBS.
Yep, and the producer of 60 Minutes, I think, or CEO or whatever, stepped down because he said he's no longer allowed to have independent thought on CBS or whatever. So they're even being intimidated. So that's what dictators do. They intimidate people to do things they want. And if you kowtow to him, he'll keep going. Which is why apparently CBS is telling them to change what they're doing. And the CEO is like, no. I want to have the independence to put the stuff we want on air, regardless of this fucker. Those are my words. I added the fucker part. Needy, thank you for the $5 Venmo for the $5 challenge. Thank you for what you do. Truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate
I'm pretty sure they call them that too, Diva.
1 second, Chase, when you go out, please do not shut that door, because if it's shut, Bobo barks for me to let him out there and then barks to get back in. Just don't close the door all the way. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Hi, Chase.
He's waving. She can't hear a wave, buddy. The press is failing us too. I agree. The press is failing us. Any of these colleges that kowtow to him, which not a lot of them are, they're banding together against him. But the ones that are, it's dangerous.
Yeah, the press is failing us because they're under attack from the government.
Correct. Which is against the First Amendment. Thank you, guys. That's so loud when they do that.
You can turn that off.
How?
There's a way to mute the awards.
I never. Okay, I'll figure it. Yeah, I'd love to, because it's so loud. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. We are looking for Trump voters to have a chat with. So if you voted for Donald Trump, request up. Let's have a conversation. Yeah, the sound effect noise is really loud. If you are a Trump voter and you're chirping in the comment section and you are requested to come up and you do not come up, you're probably going to be muted, because we are here for conversations, not for you to hide out in the comment section. If you voted for Donald Trump, guest request up. Let's talk. Yes, and I think Carolyn Levitt going after Caitlin Collins and always being snarky and mean to her, it's just that she's afraid of her. She's afraid of her. Caitlin Collins is good at her job, and she's afraid of her.
Funny story. Caitlin Collins used to work for Fox News and used to be a Trumpster. Did you guys know that?
I did.
Until you learn better.
Until you learn better. That is true. Sarah, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah,
How old are you?
He's 12.
I'm 18.
He's 12.
I got it. Yep.
Um,
Yep. He's underage. Trying to make his voice sound deeper.
those were hazelnuts.
I think you're being kind.
They have not dropped. Yo, yeah, the press secretary is definitely afraid of Caitlin Collins.
I was just going to call them peanuts, but, you know, she's paying.
At least she gave him a hazelnut. They're a little bigger.
He had a little bit of base.
Pine nuts? Pine nuts are even smaller. Okay.
Pine nuts are so tasty too. Those little fuckers are expensive.
I know they are,
I
but
make
they're good.
homemade basil. I make homemade pesto, and to buy pine nuts right now, it's like $14 for a tiny little bag.
Oh my God. Sunflower seeds. Hi, everybody on YouTube and Twitch. There's quite a few people watching. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button.
Except mustard seed.
And just like that.
If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. Let's have a conversation. Oh, a poppy seed.
Did somebody just say I like homemade basil? I'm just, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I messed up. I was saying pesto because you use basil to make pesto. But I do grow basil.
If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. Let's have a conversation. We are looking to have conversation with people that voted for Donald Trump. Are you happy with your decision? Do you regret your decision? Do you, Jem is in California. You have to remember things are usually a little bit more expensive in California. Because pine nuts for me in Florida are rather expensive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're not that much where I live, but that's why I didn't say anything, because you live in a completely different economy than we do, or than I do. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. Gina, I hear Gina wants to come up. Request up, Gina.
For those of you who don't know this, I suggest you research Scott Jennings and his crazy talks right now, because he was the one who worked for George W. Bush, who also hid a lot of the information regarding George W. Bush's lost emails. And might I remind you that the so-called lost emails were during wartime, and they weren't lost. They were literally destroyed by none other than Scott Jennings. You're welcome.
Scott Jennings is insufferable. Toya, did you vote for Trump?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you for tapping the screen. I'm okay with that. Let's get to 250, guys. You guys are doing great today. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get to 250K. You guys are doing awesome. Awesome, awesome. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up. Yeah, Scott Jennings makes me feel like I have to cover my drink when I watch him.
Oh, he does. He literally reminds me of a serial K. Seriously. Like, there's something. His dogs aren't barking. They're meowing. Like, you can see it in his brain. Like, it's like not okay.
I don't know why. Well, CNN, why is CNN so comfortable with Scott Jennings? Well, because CNN was taken over by a MAGA Republican CEO about a year and a half, I think 2 years ago. That's why they tolerate it.
Well, somebody just wrote, the Dems have no morals, violated laws, and lied. Who else was available to fix damage done by Biden? No, we had somebody. We had the best candidate. Her name was Kamala Harris. She will be back. She will defend the Constitution. She will live by her vows and to uphold the oath that she took as Vice President, as U.S. Senator, as Attorney General, as District Attorney. In all of her positions, she was elected and reelected. I also want to tell you one other thing about Democrats. My governor is Gavin Newsom, and I can literally hold him accountable for being a complete douchebag today and talking against the Democratic Party with regard to protecting the rights of immigrants that were deported unconstitutionally. And I can literally say that with confidence, that I am disappointed in his comment today.
Yeah, I was all like, Gavin Newsom 2028, and I'm not anymore. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good.
And I've always been a supporter of Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
But that today crossed the line because he needs to uphold the Constitution and not worry about kowtowing to Donald Trump and big donors.
Exactly. I'm like, nope. No more. No more me wanting him to run in 2028. Yeah, he definitely ruined his run. He wouldn't get the delegates. I don't think he would get the delegates even if he tried. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button.
For those of you asking what he said, it's all over the news, but the bottom line is he said that Dems need to be careful supporting gang members. Nobody's supporting gang members.
Correct.
We're supporting the Constitution that protects every person on American soil to receive due process.
Exactly. Like I said, I've said that every day that I've been on here. I'm not vouching for that man's character. I'm not vouching for Abrego Garcia's what he has or hasn't done. I'm only standing up for our Constitution. Because if one person doesn't have due process, none of us do. And that's a very dangerous thing for this country. So I am fighting for due process. I am fighting for the Constitution. I am fighting for upholding the law. I'm not vouching for his character, whether he was or wasn't part of MS-13, whether he did or didn't hurt his wife. None of those things. None of those things am I agreeing or disagreeing or standing up for.
Miss Andrus, I saw what you posted that he also said he was a distraction. I'm gonna say this, which is why I didn't mention it. I actually agree to some effect, and I know Val will too, based on what we've talked about in the past, that I do think the Trump administration is using us to distract away from the crimes that are being committed by his administration. So they're using this and keeping it in the media because they know that it makes you look away from what Doge is doing. We're not talking much about Doge anymore.
Exactly.
We're not talking about Pete Hegseth's alcohol abuse and his sending out information to his wife and brother, who I'm pretty sure probably are getting paid for private information.
Oh, yeah. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. I am looking for Trump voters to talk to. If you voted for Donald Trump and you're happy with your decision, we want to talk to you. If you voted for Donald Trump and you regret your choice, I want to hear from you too. If you voted for Donald Trump and you're not sure, we want to hear from you too. But if you voted for Donald Trump, we want to talk to you. Rescue Democracy. I'm pretty sure you are not a Trump voter. With a picture of Zelensky. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request. Come on up.
As a former Catholic, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Sure. Do you find it ironic? And I mentioned this to somebody today, and they looked at me like I had lost my mind, because I really am sorry that the Pope unalived. Like, truthfully, I'm not happy about that at all. I do think he was a simple, good man.
Yeah.
But the way they talk about him, calling him simple, to me almost sounds denigrating, because they compared him to the other intellects that had been popes previously. I felt he did a very good job the last 12 years talking about humanity and kindness and compassion. So I just think they denigrated him. However, I find it really kind of gross, and this is me, so this is my opinion, TikTok and whoever's in here, as a former Catholic, that this is a religious group that is their top echelon of religiosity in the world, right? And we have foreign leaders that are literally using this as some type of fodder, including J.D. Vance, who just, might I add, that would have been the last person I would have wanted to have a conversation with before on my last day on earth.
Right.
But the fact that these people are now talking about how they're going to attend said services, I just think once again we're crossing the line with politics and religion once again. And for me, it just kind of grosses me out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't comprehend it. Trump is not a Christian. He is not a Catholic. He is nothing.
None of
So
those
I'm not
things.
exactly sure why this is happening the way it's happening. This isn't somebody that should be even discussed in the political realm. Humanitarian, yes. Kind man, yes. Head of a religious group, yes. He's not a politician and should not be involved in political fodder. That's just my opinion. I just wanted your take on it.
I totally agree.
Okay, thanks.
100% agree.
Usually Pope says that usually try to stay out of the political fight,
Mhm.
out of the political arena. And now that I think about it, I'm trying to remember a president that ever went to a Pope's funeral, and there's been a few over the last couple decades.
I have a question here.
Well, no one's talking to you yet, Tommy. You haven't even been introduced, so please be quiet. No, nobody's talking to you. Nobody's talking to you. Yeah, I agree, Val. And the thing is let's say if it was President Biden, for instance, okay, let's just say he
He is Catholic though.
Yes, exactly. President Biden is an actual practicing Catholic who actually attends church and walks the walk. That I could comprehend. But we're talking, and this is exactly what I mean. We're talking world leaders, right? They even said today on the news that Zelensky was going to attend. Zelensky is a practicing Jew. So I'm very confused at why political heads of the world are going to be attending a funeral for someone in the religious capacity, not in political spectrum. And this bothers me to the nth degree because I think once again we're crossing over
Church and state.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, church. Yeah, absolutely. And I can't speak for other countries, but I've just never been able to comprehend that component of it. And I'm with you, Val. I couldn't remember either.
I can't think of a single president that has gone to.
Somebody said that Bush went to Pope John Paul's.
Who?
Bush.
Oh, Bush went to Pope John Paul's.
I don't know. That's somebody in the comment section said. I haven't verified that, so I'm not sure. They said.
I just don't remember that ever.
I don't remember it being televised though. Like, do you remember it being televised or announced that he was going?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also remember the ASA nation attempt on John Paul II. I remember that in 1981, and talking about that because they are world leaders. But my thing is he's a religious leader. He's not a political head. He does not, and nothing he does is based on what Italy does. You know what I'm saying, politically. So
I
for
know
me,
I know they've met presidents. I know stuff like that. But that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it shouldn't go through that sort of that.
All right.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. I just wanted to ask that question.
Yeah. No, that was a good question. Tommy, if you could remind us, we all know you voted for Trump, but how old are you and what state did you vote in?
37, New Jersey, and I have a question now. So do you concede now, after all the court documents have come out, that Kilmer and Otto Garcia were
No.
a member of MS-13?
It doesn't matter. No.
It does matter.
No.
It says it in the court documents.
Where?
No, it's not.
Where?
No, it is not.
It's not.
I've read all 137
So have I.
court documents.
I have it right here. I have it right here.
What's? Can you tell me the source? Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the source. I have a laptop right in front of me. So I'm not going to just let you read it off. We'll read it together, but tell me the source where you're reading it and I'll look it up.
United States Department of Justice Executive Office for Immigration Review, Immigration Court, Baltimore, Maryland.
No,
That's the same paperwork. It just says it was alleged. There was a confidential informant. Excuse me, let me speak.
There was no proof of such
Correct.
alleged allegation.
Well, his burden of demonstrating that his release from custody will not pose a danger to others, as the evidence shows.
And then they gave him. Okay, stop. What's the conclusion, though? They actually gave him protected status and not to be specifically deported to El Salvador. And he stayed in the country, and the Trump administration gave him a work visa or a work permit in order to work here in 2019. And he checked in with ICE every single year after that. He was allowed, he checked in 20, 21, 22. Ever since then, they never accused him of being an MS-13. He never committed a single crime since he's been here. He was here under legal protected status, and they kept his work permit going. And he joined a union. That all happened under the Trump administration in 2019. Donald Trump's administration gave him the legal protected status.
According to the Supreme Court, that protective status that was given to him by the district court order is, however, unclear and may exceed the district court's authority. So they are overstepping with that.
They are not.
They
didn't
are.
even read that right.
Court said it,
You didn't comprehend what you just read, dude.
I just got it from the Supreme Court.
You did not comprehend what you just
Lower
read.
your fucking voice. Settle
You
down.
did not
Sounds like you have a
comprehend.
stick up
No,
your
you
ass.
won't ever shut up, Tommy. You talk like a fucking toilet.
You
Listen,
have a fucking
if you're
stick up
gonna
your
read something, Tommy, comprehend it. Comprehend what you're reading. The Supreme Court totally voted against 9-0 against the Trump administration. And then the second vote was 7-2, correct, Val?
No, it was 7-2. No, it was 7-2.
7-2.
Yeah.
So for all of you who don't comprehend what facilitate and effectuate means, it literally went against the Trump administration. Just for all you other Trump supporters that are in here, facilitate means to make it happen, and effectuate means to literally complete the process of it. So it means to make it come into effect. So I'm not sure what part of the English language Trump supporters have failed to comprehend and the Trump administration, but they lost completely. And the other thing I want to point out, if Tommy had stuck around long enough to listen, is the gang that was threatening him and his family, not just him, but his older brother Caesar as well, because they were trying to get him away from the gangs, was not MS-13. It was literally Barrio Street Gang 18. So this idea that you even know what you're talking about, that if he literally was part of MS-13, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I got bars. If you guys, Barrio 18 Street Gang, if they were the ones threatening him and he had actually been a member of MS-13, believe me when I tell you, and the research will show you, those people would not still be standing.
Right.
If they had come from an MS-13's family, and that street gang would have been done for.
Correct.
So you don't even understand that it was literally the Trump administration that came up with that information, because that's the only gang they could come up with. And you don't even understand the reason that Madasutra even uses the things that they use, or why they do what they do, or why they were even formed, which was to fight against guerrilla warfare that was happening in the 80s. So please miss me with all your misinformation.
Jordan, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, and what state did you vote in?
19. I voted in Georgia.
What did you want to add to the conversation?
Well, I just joined in, so I wanted to know what you guys were talking about and add to it.
We're talking about the Trump administration kidnapping people off the street and sending them to a concentration camp in another country against the law, and then also violating the Supreme Court order to bring him back, which has put us into a constitutional crisis, because at no time in the past has a sitting president ignored the Supreme Court's ruling.
So the whole El Salvador there,
It's not just El Salvador. That's not the point. It's not the person. We're not saying anything about the man's character. We're not saying anything about his affiliations, if any. Literally, we're talking about the Constitution. It's against the Constitution to deny someone their due process rights. And to just be kidnapped off the streets and sent to a concentration camp without having a court hearing, without getting to present your side of things, which is what due process is kidnapping, human trafficking, and imprisoning them into a torture camp. That is illegal. You cannot do that. And we don't do that in the United States, but that is what he's doing.
Well, I wouldn't say sending them to concentration camps.
Come on now, have you not done any research on this place?
Yeah, it's a prison, man. It's
It's
No.
considered one of the worst prisons in the world.
yeah, but I wouldn't call it a whole concentration camp.
It is. Okay, hold on.
That's what it is.
Hold on.
Okay, well, what's a concentration camp to you?
No, there is a definition for a concentration camp. Would you like me to read it to you?
I'm asking, what do you guys think? What do you
It's not what I think.
Okay, well, what is the definition?
I will tell you.
Jordan doesn't know the definition, so Diva, you're going to have to tell him because Jordan's 19 and he's going to act like he knows what a concentration camp is when it's literally in the word.
Give me one moment. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is a place where large. Here, let me put it on the screen so you can see. All right, here we go. School is in session, folks. All right. A concentration camp is a place where large numbers of people, especially political prisoners or members of persecuted minorities, are deliberately imprisoned in a relatively small area with inadequate facilities, sometimes to provide forced labor or to await mass execution.
Okay, well, I don't agree on that, but I see the definition. I think we can put it out of our country and not ship to.
Okay, we have rules and we have laws. It doesn't matter how you feel about immigrants. It doesn't matter how you feel because we have laws and we have rules. And when you put people, hold on, come on.
It's a literal definition. It's in the word to concentrate. Whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter. Nobody cares what Jordan thinks.
You've got men stacked up. You got men stacked up in prison. Do you see the screen? You got Matt. Oh, let me show you another picture. Not on camera, but on the background. Just give me a moment to find it. My screen might go blank for a second. But I'm going to find you the picture that I had the other day. And you tell me what the difference is. 1 second.
What? I think she liked it.
No, she said she's going to go blank for a minute while she's loading the picture. Listen, comprehend, listen.
Yeah, but she's in the middle of saying something that just froze.
Damn, where's the picture?
What kind of farmer are you?
Well, I have a farm. I farm vegetables.
I know. What kind of farmer are you?
I'm not a farmer. I wouldn't call myself a farmer.
What kind of animals do you raise?
I got chickens. I got cows. Basic animals.
Yeah. So instead of spending so much time with those animals and not paying attention what's happening in the big world, you might want to start getting a dictionary and reading what the words concentration camp mean and due process and First Amendment and understanding that there's a great big world out there, Jordan, that's literally harming the rest of the people, including farmers like you, who are literally going to lose their subsidies for farming in the country that you're in because they're harming farms and ranches in Texas, in Georgia, in Mississippi. So you might want to take some time, Jordan, at 19 to figure out that these people don't care about you. They care about the dollar. And they're voting against your rights as a 19-year-old to ensure that there's a future farm and a future ranch for you to even have, Jordan.
Well, I wouldn't say we're being affected. I mean, that's a reach. We're not being affected, and we're not.
I have underwear older than you that comprehend more than you.
Why does he want to get farms?
Do you not understand simple math?
Yes, but why would Trump want to get rid of farms now?
He's not trying to get rid of farms. He's hurting because he's stupid and doesn't know what he's doing. He did this in his first administration. He did this in his first administration, sir, in 2018 and 2019. When he had to bail them out. And we have never recovered from that. So you understand, and we'll see if you understand math. This 30 million tons,
There we
more
go.
than 380 million metric tons?
Yes, I would say so.
No, 30 million tons is less.
Okay, well,
Okay, so, sir, before he did what he did in 2018 and 2019 with playing with tariffs and pissing China off, and then cutting our soybean farmers off.
he did not cut us off.
Yes, they did.
Okay,
So, they not only cut us off, they went to a different country to get their soybeans. And that's what I'm about to explain to you. So, sir, shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck
That's
up.
what I'm about to explain to you. Before he did that, we shipped 350 million metric tons of soybeans to China every year. Now we only ship 30 million.
That doesn't help them out. That's money that comes in for our farmers. That doesn't help them out. Our farmers make money on the soybeans, you dimwit. Now listen, now look.
Nice name, man.
Hold on, look. Up here, this top picture. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
What is that?
That's 1930s Germany, or in Auschwitz, in the concentration camp before they exterminate. Shut the fuck up and listen.
Okay.
Thank you. This is 1930s, where they took, right before the Holocaust, this is where they kept the prisoners. Down below, where do you think that is?
That's prisoners, right?
That's CCOT. That's where they have the guy in El Salvador. Do they look similar?
No.
Oh, you're a fool. Get out of here.
Yeah.
No, get out of here. Oh, no, they don't look similar at all. Nope. That's because you're just being intellectually dishonest because you know it is.
And sir, give your college the money back, please.
He didn't go to college.
And it wasn't in
He did not
Germany.
go to college.
Auschwitz was in
He's out talking to chickens and cows.
Auschwitz was in Poland. They specifically took them out of Germany over to Poland, just like the United States is doing, and sending them to El Salvador. You can't tell me you don't see the similarities. This is serious. This isn't funny. You idiots.
Hey, I just left work. I turned my light out.
Yes, hello?
Miller, hi. Hold on. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
How old are you?
I guess,
How old are you, and what state did you vote in?
20, Texas.
What did you want to add?
Listen, when you look at the numbers, just down to it, before...
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, what are you talking about?
Okay, relax. Take it easy.
Don't tell me to relax. It's going to work as well as trying to baptize a cat, okay? Don't tell me to relax. Don't tell me to calm down. We have people in fucking concentration camps, so shut your fucking mouth and don't tell me that again. Thank you.
Listen, they're not...
Don't tell me to listen.
They're prisons. Because if you look at the numbers, before all these gang members were put into this prison, El Salvador had one of the highest homicide rates.
I don't care, and you can't use that word on TikTok, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on because you're not going to get it. He was up here before. He came back up on another account. That's the same guy that was up here earlier. He has the same intonation, same everything. That was somebody who was already up here. They came up on a backup account. I recognize his voice is a very distinctive voice. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Or torture prison. We can call it that too. If you don't like the concentration camp word. But I'm calling it what it is. Oh, that's so cute.
Well, here's my thing. If we're all about America first and paying Americans, why would we pay a foreign country to take prisoners?
And they right, and they can never get out. Which normally you'd want to keep them here because we have privatized prisons that probably would love to get that money. Why are we sending them to El Salvador? That's because Americans can't get in, reporters can't get in, nobody can get into CCOT that he doesn't allow in personally. That's why.
Exactly right. He's doing this because of what's going on in Florida. And when he knew the story in Florida was going to work.
The Chrome facility is a big problem in Florida. People are unaliving because they don't have adequate food and water in the immigrant detention center in Florida, in Miami. And people are telling stories about it, and people are posting about it, and people are up in arms about it. So he's like, send them out of the country. Where to the one place that nobody can get into unless the president of El Salvador lets you. If you go to
let's not forget Cuba, that we held actual terrorists there, T groups. We actually held actual T groups there. And now all of a sudden, people who have a civil thing that they're accusing them of, where they are supposed to be afforded due process, were picked up and shipped not to their countries. Let me let that sink in, everybody. They're not being sent to their countries. They're being sent to other people's countries. That should bother anybody, regardless of whether or not you're a Republican or a Democrat. We should not be allowed. That'd be like if you were an American and you were traveling in the Bahamas and they arrested you and sent you to Russia.
Exactly.
You should be bothered by that.
100%. And did you know that Maduro in Venezuela asked the International Criminal Courts to look into the deal between the United States and El Salvador?
Good.
Because they're sending Venezuelans to El Salvador. And he says those people that he's sending there are not gang members. And those are Venezuelan people. So Maduro, who is also a dictator, not a good man, but he has asked the ICC to investigate the deal between the United States and El Salvador because they're sending Venezuelans there. So
it's a mess. I mean, but there's one thing we don't talk about, nothing really, because we can't get enough research on it or find out exactly what happened. I want to know why all those prisoners had to be sent back from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know what went down there.
Yeah. And the one horrific thing that really bothers me, not that all this doesn't, where are the women and children? Because we know CCOT houses children.
I said that the other day.
But where are the women and children? Are they all in Florida? Okay. Hopefully not CCOT, because CCOT does, I think it's ages 12 and up at CCOT. They have children in with these people. CCOT did send the women back because on the first plane over there was women on it, and they sent the women back because he said, we don't house women. So they sent those women back, and those women went to someplace in Texas. But I'm talking about children. Where are the children? Yeah, unaliving in Florida. Yeah. In Chrome. Probably in Miami. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on up. If you want to help support my live, I do have my Cash App Venmo over here on the little yellow banner. I'd appreciate any and all support. I am here every single day, 7 days a week from 4 to 7 p.m. And even if you just all send $1, it would make my day. If you also love my live goal, you guys have been smashing it out today. Thank you so much. And I have my subscriptions on if you want to subscribe. That's another way to support my live. And Jem and Val have their Cash App and Venmo information in their bios as well. So please feel free to support us. And I appreciate you being here. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request and come on up. Let's have a talk.
I'll never get over that picture of the 12-year-old in handcuffs, ever.
I won't either.
That'll be frozen in my head.
I showed that video to Ava last night, the TikTok of the marching the little girl out, and the man is like rustling through her pockets. I'm like, why is a man searching a little girl? Even when you have women, people that have, grown ass women that have been arrested, they wait for a female officer to get there. It's gross. She was so little. They're saying she wasn't a little girl. You can tell she is. She's like 10, maybe 12, but it was ICE. And somebody was telling her in a Spanish type accent that says, just plead the fifth. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Oh, Pickles is debating now. Well, I've been watching the debates all day, or them going around, and First of all, they had a Sylvia. Thank you for subscribing. They Unfuck America tour had a tent set up, and it was like 20 feet from Charlie Kirk's tent. Charlie Kirk found out that they were coming. He got the college to remove their tent and not allow them. And he said he's only going to debate students. He's so scared of Parker and Dean and Pickles and everybody that's there. And they told him that they couldn't have their tent. Charlie Cook won't debate any of them that's coming. So he is scared. He is scared of the people that came up for the Unfuck America tour. He is scared. They got mics back. I was watching a live. Parker and Dean were debating right before I came up here about, guess what? You'll never guess what the guy came up to ask. You'll never guess.
About Harry?
Nope. What's a woman? Can you tell me a definition of a woman? Every fucking one of them that came up. I mean, it's just, they're obsessed. It's crazy. They're obsessed. I've never seen a group of people more obsessed about genitals than MAGA. So incredibly disturbing how obsessed they are. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. We are looking for conversations. I didn't see much. The people I was watching today did not. Nancy, thank you for the $5 Venmo. Really enjoy your lives. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Mitria, you are so popular, girl. They are sick, Sedalia. I agree with you. I think that they're sick. That's why I said I think they all literally need professional help. I think MAGA is an illness. It's gross, or psychopathy. They're either sociopaths, psychopaths, or both, because they are not. They're not right. If you voted for Donald Trump, hit the guest request button. Come on. We've had really good discussions in here today. Trump is definitely a psychopath.
Val, did you hear the news about the economy slowing to almost a crawl? And they're trying to explain to people how detrimental this is going to be. And it's not just going to be here in the U.S., it's going to be globally, that there's not going to be any exchange at all, which means production and need for items is going to come to a startling halt as well.
No, I did read that article. And it's, that's actually what, I don't know if you watched this morning, it's what set me off this morning.
I'm going to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a problem, people, and I don't think people really understand the gravity. We're already seeing layoffs. I've read through the list of jobs that have already been lost by major companies. It's over 250,000 and counting so far. That's not including the government. Okay, that's private industry. This is going to be painful, extremely painful to the American people if this keeps up. There has to be time.
And then did you hear when Dr. Oz was talking about how it's unpatriotic if American people do not take care of themselves and rely on medical or Medicare or Medicaid, that it's unpatriotic? And then at the very time that he was admonishing people who rely on cholesterol meds or blood pressure meds or payment for said medications, right? His 8-year-old granddaughter was fainting and vomiting in the Oval Office. So I wonder if it was unpatriotic of her to get sick in the Oval Office. Just a question. No one's talking to you, U.S. Marine. No one's speaking to you. Your name's not Val. Your name's not Val.
You come up here and you're announced, and then you can talk. If you can't follow those rules, I'll kick you down.
So, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I find interesting, that the American people, the taxpayers of this country, the hardworking people who work their entire lives at jobs, careers, saving, paying into medical insurance, holding themselves to the life that they have to get by each and every day. Some rich cardiologist that gets nominated for a role, who is made famous by Oprah Winfrey, along with Phil Donahue, not Donahue, I did that, Dr. Phil, earned millions and millions of dollars off the backs of people believing their rhetoric on TV, now get to dictate to us about Medicare and Medicaid that we have paid into our entire working lives, and then have the audacity to tell you that if you get sick and if you have to use Medicaid or Medicare, you are unpatriotic if somehow you contributed to not taking care of yourself. And in the same conversation, his granddaughter faints and pukes in the Oval Office.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't see how anybody didn't get disgusted by that. Because that's taxpayer money that we witnessed, all of that get interrupted on our dime again.
And did you see that what RFK Jr. is doing next? He's going to scrub all the data that he can find and make a registry of everyone in the country with autism.
Oh my God.
And he says he's supposed to come up with a cure by September.
It's the My Pillow guy in office.
A registry.
U.S. Marine came up a minute ago, but he didn't like that he had to stay muted for a second while we were discussing that.
I cut out. RFK Jr. is creating a registry, and they're going to be gathering data from all healthcare providers. Hello, HIPAA. And putting a registry together of everyone in the country that have been diagnosed with autism. Extremely concerning, since my child has been formally diagnosed with autism.
Hold on, guys. Give me a second.
What do you want?
He said they'd give it a second real quick.
He was already up here. That's why I'm like, what do you want?
He was also making stupid comments.
I know.
Saying liberal news.
Liberal news. We're literally just telling you what just came out. RFK Jr. is going to be making a registry for autistic people. It's not liberal news. It's just news because it's.
What's so bad about trying to find a cure about autism?
There is no cure. It's not a disease. It's not a disease.
You guys have seen the worst out of people, don't you?
He's not a doctor, for starters.
I mean,
He's not even a lawyer either.
he's been hired as,
Oh my God, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong
can't
with
fix
Jordan?
stupid. What's wrong with you? Can't fix stupid.
You can't.
Stop sniffing fertilizer.
What, man? You gotta do something else, man. You gotta do something else.
Autism isn't a disease.
Something else is a friggin' what'd you say you were 19 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, something else is a 19-year-old that comes up into a panel on a political conversation that has zero clue, zero education in anything that he's talking about up here. Okay? And wants to try to make a decision for other people.
Well, he's not making a decision. He's making a statement.
Can you please tell me? How that autism is supposed to be cured?
Well, autism can be cured.
No, I said how.
Like a ham?
I said how.
It can be cured by.
You can't. I'm not even entertaining it. You can't even say the word fucking cured. It could be curd. It could be curd like a ham. It could be curd. He doesn't even know how to. He doesn't even fucking know. I'm not having a conversation with a goddamn potato. It can be curd. Just the utter ignorance.
I'm scared. I'm scared of them.
I'm scared that it's getting curd. Oh my God.
I exactly know what he was gonna say. I exactly know.
Something tells me he's hit a few curbs in the city along the way.
Cow. He's hit those curbs on a cow.
The curbs on a cow.
Oh, and then, oh my God. Did you see Trump's new plan for women to encourage them to have babies?
Oh, no.
Hey, Diva, you know, if you had 2 more, you would get a medal of motherhood.
I would get a medal of motherhood. And if I had another one, I could get a $5,000 check, which is still less than Kamala Harris was going to give the $6,000. But, yeah, I posted in my Discord server. Hold on. This is rich. And there's one part of it that's straight out of Schindler's playbook. I mean, I know you're all shocked. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to give you a medal of motherhood. No. How about you give paid maternity leave and universal health child care? Free school lunches.
You know, it's funny you said that because Dana Bash did a review of it today, and that was the first thing she said is, what about daycare? What about helping families with daycare? They don't want women to work.
Correct.
They don't want women to be in the professional workforce. They are wanting you to breed. That is what they want you for. Nothing more, nothing less. They don't want you to vote. They don't want you to work. They are literally trying to turn us back to 1950s where you stayed home and you cooked and cleaned and you had babies and you did nothing more. They're not going to give you universal health care. They're not going to give you paid daycare or maternity leave because they don't want you in the workforce.
Correct.
Vote against Republicans.
Oh, I don't think ageism's out of the question. So I had a friend of mine apply for a remote position for Target. So he did the standard application and everything. Then he got a email with another set of questions. The very first question on this secondary questionnaire was, are you under 40?
I hope he filed a lawsuit.
Well, I'm 52. I have been looking for work since last May. I have not gotten, I mean, I'm talking probably 5 to 10 remote positions I've applied to every day for almost a year now. I have not gotten a single fucking interview. Not one. I had to dumb down. I put 10 plus years of experience. I didn't want to put 20 plus years of experience because I wasn't getting anything. So I went down to 10 plus years of experience. I still have not gotten a single solitary interview. Not one. They see that you have all this work experience and they don't want you to. Like, they don't want you to have that many years of experience. They start adding it up. Well, she started working at 18. She's like in her 50s now. We don't want that. I've been looking for a job for next month will be a year. Yeah, I have had to dumb down. They probably watch my live. Okay, Flash Gordon, who only has 5 followers and no one gives a shit what you have to say.
If they did watch her live, they'd know she's well-researched, well-versed.
Exactly. That part. Jennifer.
I didn't mean to come up, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're a subscriber, and so my subscribers get priority in the box when it's time for friendly. So I was bringing you up. Did you want to say anything or no?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. No worries. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I show up every day, don't I? Exactly, Chairman of the Board. I've worked every single day, 7 days a week since May of last year, and I've only missed 2 days. I'm reliable. I work for you guys. Right now, you guys are my employees. I mean, you guys are my employer. You guys have been fully funding me since May of last year by your donations, and I couldn't be more grateful. And that's why I show up every single day for you, because I told you I would show up every single day if you guys would support me. And you guys have shown up and supported me every day, and I have been here every day. So I appreciate you, every single one of you, for your support. Otherwise, I'd be out having me doing Uber Eats or something, because I would have no income. So I appreciate you very, very much. Anthony, thank you for the $10 Venmo. How many kids were in class today? You guys sent these clueless boys to the principal's office. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. I couldn't do this every day without you. I am also going to bring up Trump voters. If you voted for Donald Trump, you can request up to. Anybody can request now. So anyone can request. Trump voters, Harris voters, whoever. I am a paralegal.
Hey, Diava.
Hi, Luke. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I won't be long knowing that I was up here the other day. But I know that you guys were handling that guy like pretty well. But as someone who's proudly autistic, I want to tell that guy off so bad because like
I know.
I'm in like the rough range of age as him. Like
Yeah.
him being 19, he obviously doesn't know shit.
Right.
But me being 23 years old, it's like I'm 10 years smarter than him.
Oh, I agree.
And like honestly, let's just say for example, RFK somehow found a cure. I still would not take it because yes, have I had struggles throughout my life so far? Obviously, who hasn't, disabled or not? And like when it comes to being autistic, again, sometimes I say things and my mom is like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "Have you met me?"
That's how my son is. My son's brilliant, and it makes him who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just gonna say, Luke, you are perfect, whole, and complete, just
Yep.
as you are. Perfect, whole, and complete, just as you are.
Correct.
And every person that I know in my life or who I've met professionally who is on the spectrum or who identifies as autistic in some form or fashion are brilliant human beings, whether it's artistically, musically, scientifically, mathematically, what makes them their way contributes to our society in a different way. And I will take 10 of you, Luke, to one of those people who literally come up here and deny human kindness, passion, and who have the inability to articulate in full sentences. We love you.
Yep.
I love you guys too. But yeah, it's like they're literally like honestly, the last thing I need is advice from a guy who has a brain worm.
And who was it? Who was an H addict for 14 years?
Yeah.
Like his brain hasn't been altered.
Like I prefer, like honestly, I'm that kind of a person where, like, yes, I may get passionate, but I'm not one to, bring up other people's history as insults. Because, like, if he was an H addict, okay, like, whatever. Like,
Yeah, people can be in recovery. I'm not hating on him for that. I'm just saying it probably did some damage. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Because in like all honesty, like this is kind of pickpocketing RFK, but at the same time, like his voice sounds like he's high every day, or it sounds like he's elevated every day.
Thank you. He takes all kinds of like natural medicine. Who knows what the hell that man's taking? But
let's cut to the chase. He's also had mercury poisoning from
Correct.
eating things he shouldn't have eaten.
Mm-hmm.
It's affected his brain. It's affected his vein chemistry and his lungs. So let's just be very clear. He's also a twice convicted felon and a predator. And let's be also very clear that what Diava just said is that addiction that he had alters your physical makeup. It alters you. So whether or not we want to condemn him for that, that's not the point. The point is that is a person who has no higher level of education, no expertise in the medical field, and should not be telling us about public safety at all where it comes to health and sciences.
No.
It should not be a man like that. And let's be clear, because I had somebody come at me the other day when I said he was a convicted felon. They're like, I'm a convicted felon, so you're saying all convicted felons are bad. Yeah, it's kind of been the word that if you go around committing crimes, you are not supposed to be allowed or to be trusted in positions of power that can harm millions of people. I'm sorry, call me silly. It just shows me that you have a problem with impulse control and you've done things in your life. Does that mean you have to be punished forever? No, but I don't want you in a position of power over me. Absolutely not. And if you don't like that, that's just too bad. In addition to that, let's just be very clear. Neither Donald Trump nor RFK have ever wanted for anything in their life.
Nope.
They came from money. So they did not commit crimes because they did not have. They committed crimes because they wanted to take more.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. Well, thank you, Luke. Did you want to say anything else?
Yeah, just one last thing.
Sure.
That I did mention last time that I had spoken at a rally that was close to me and had proudly stated I was a person with autism. And I do say this personally. I was diagnosed in the 2nd grade, and from then to when I graduated high school, I had dealt with numerous bullies before.
Of course.
And that is personally why I'm not afraid of the fact that we have one in the Oval Office.
Right. We've all faced bullies, Boo. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not discounting what you're saying. I hope that didn't come across that way, but I'm just like, that's why I'm not scared of him either. I was bullied unmercifully.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Like, honestly, exactly. Like, I've dealt with bullies before. I'm not afraid of an old man.
Especially one that I believe is dementia riddled.
Yeah, like, without the Oval Office, he's a failed businessman who inherited his father's money.
And a criminal.
Like, he's nothing.
And he's a criminal.
Yeah, exactly. And he's why the women choose the bear.
He is why. You're 100% correct.
Yep.
Thank you, Luke, for coming up. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate all of you.
Of course. You have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. What a sweetheart. I like him. He's so sweet. Thank you guys. We're at 300K likes. You guys are smashing it today. Thank you so much. Hi, Opie. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, real quick. I am so sorry. Mary, thank you so much for the $40 Venmo just for being you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Hi. Hi, sweetheart.
This is. No, don't touch it. Hold on. Stop. It's going crazy.
Hi.
So this is his little chunk face from all the steroids.
Yeah. Hi, sweetheart.
But he's doing good. He needs to touch it, he says. All right.
He desperately wants to touch it, huh?
Shut it off. All right. Hold on.
And he's smiling.
He's smiling.
Yeah, he's back to school now.
Good.
So he's 6 weeks off from school. He's only in kindergarten, but he's back to school now for the full week. And then he's on vacation. He's like, stop talking to people. But no, it's been good. He's doing well. I just wanted to show you guys.
I'm so glad.
His cheeks are so rosy and full because of the massive amount of steroids.
Yeah,
having to take.
It's called that moon face. I had that when I was, because I've been on and off prednisone for 25 plus years because of my RA. And so my face got round and was round for a long time.
He takes 45 every day.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a lot for him for the last 6 weeks.
That is a lot. Yeah.
So it's a heavy dose. Hopefully we're gonna get it down soon. But I was just listening to all sorts of stuff today, and just the database thing really hit me hard. That
Yeah.
RFK wants to do.
Yes.
Just because, I mean, it starts with one thing.
Correct.
But then it's going to spiral into other things, and I don't know if people really understand that. It's the autism, it's the people on the spectrum now, and then it snowballs to other things. Guys.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if people are really making the connections to that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because I don't think we ever thought of this in our lifetime. So it's really hard for us to wrap our minds around that, that it's happening here. This stuff happens in other countries. This doesn't happen here. And now it's happening here. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's almost like a shock to the conscience. And so some people are just like, no, that's not happening. Like MAGA's always like, nah, that's not happening. It's because it's so unconscionable. And especially the young people, they don't realize. Like the 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, they're just barely out of high school.
Oh, they barely know what they're doing tomorrow, or what, you know what I mean? Like they don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Like mom, dad's probably going to pay that bill for them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
It's like you're an adult. Like, I mean, as sad as it is, at that young age, I mean, you need to start thinking about the future, and it's the beginning, and I see it. It's the beginning. I'm making the connections in my brain.
Yes.
Like my wife's like, my wife has to check on me periodically because she knows I'm constantly like just ingesting information, and that's just how I am. I wasn't a huge political person until 2016. Really, I mean, well, I lied. I was big during the Bush, in the the wars and everything like that, and Obama and everything like that. So I was kind of political, but it was kind of like back then it was like kind of like the normal political climate. Like,
politics was boring, and it's supposed to be.
Yes, but it was still like I had all the the punk bands and stuff like that released these CDs called Rock Against Bush or something like that.
Exactly.
It was like 2 volumes of punk songs against the government, and it was like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm and I'm punk and all that stuff, and I don't like the wars and whatever. Then like we get Obama, and then it's all of a sudden it just turns into like something else after that.
Because of racism, yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah. And then now we're in this dystopian place where I don't know where it's headed. And
oh, we know where it's headed. We just got to figure out how to stave it off.
Yeah, the fourth R. You know what I mean?
Yep, the Fourth Reich. I'll say it. Yeah.
You could say that. I don't want to be the one who takes you down. I don't want to say the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that or not, but I've never heard anybody say that. They've gotten taken down for it. So.
Yeah, well, so it's just
the Fourth Reich.
Oh, right. No.
Yeah.
And you can say Reichstag fire too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's just like this unprecedented time, and I'm like, why does it have to be in my lifetime? Why do I have to be worried? And like my wife and I were talking about her sister, who's 10 years younger than her. So we're in our 40s, so her sister's in her 30s, and we were talking about what they're doing with their lives, and if we think they're gonna have kids or not. And I said, if we were younger and you turned to me and asked me if we wanted to have kids now, I would say no.
Absolutely not.
And she looked me dead in the eyes. She goes, "I'm right there with you, Dad."
Absolutely not. No.
I said, "Well, we would not want to have kids right now. I'm like, we have our kids now. It's fine. It's great. I'll protect them with everything I have.
Absolutely, yeah.
And try to do everything we can to set up the future. Hopefully, if there is, whatever. But
whatever that future looks like, but at least we're gonna fight for it.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight for it. Exactly. And I was just like, but if I had to choose now, I was like, no way.
I'm the same way. And my son has as you know, my oldest son Troy has my only grandchild. He's 3, and they are wanting another. And I'm just like, I am your mother, and you are a grown ass man. So you do whatever you want. I'm just telling you as your mom. Also, because we're in the state of Florida, and if she has any complications, the closest place she could go for an AB is Virginia. Okay. So it's like, and that's concerning. So it's like, if I were you right now, I just wouldn't have any more kids. You guys are only 30. Like, they're young. That even if they waited 4 years to maybe this ass clown is out of office, they could have another one, but it's not my call. And I already told myself, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would not bring any more children into this because we don't know where it's going to end.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'll put this out there for you. If she ever needed anything or whatever, I can get her. And we can get her to Massachusetts. I got a bedroom in Massachusetts at my parents' house.
Thank you.
So we could do. And that I'm not even joking. It's my full heart. If we can get to Massachusetts or something, if everything was ever needed for you, your family, Jen, even Val, I don't know what anyone's situation is. I got a house in Massachusetts.
Thank you.
And just let me know if we can get you there. And that's what we need to do. We'll do it.
People are like, isn't it legal in Florida? Yeah, up until 6 weeks. You don't even know you're pregnant at 6 weeks. Very few people ever find out they're pregnant at 6 weeks.
No, and right, exactly. And then it's the whole, they won't do anything until your life is in danger. But like, when do they figure that out? That's an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's still, and it's the doctor's license on the line, and
they're scared to touch you. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of tape, but I'm just saying that's for you.
Thank you.
The folks on the panel. If something needs to happen, you need to come north. My house is small. I live in New Hampshire, which is kind of like we have a Republican governor and a lot of Republican people, but I do have a house in Massachusetts. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love you guys. You can drop me down.
Bye, Opie. Real quick, I need to say some quick thank yous. Colby, thank you for the $2 Cash App for being so awesome. Thank you so much. Dawn, thank you for the $2. Any plans for Older Women by the Clown? I don't know. All they care about's them young, vivacious young ladies that can pop out babies. They don't care about us old ladies. We're washed up has-beens. They don't give a fuck about us. All right, let me bring up next guest. They don't care one little bit. If you voted for Donald Trump, you can request up to. I'm not just bringing up friendlies. I'm bringing anybody up. So if anybody that wants, I doubt there's any in here. 400 people have left. So we know those were all Trumpsters that were too scared to come up and talk to us. All right. Kansas Drifter, you did not connect, but you can always re-request. That happens sometimes, especially if you've been waiting for a little bit. It sometimes can time out. Yeah, they want us, exactly, that their healthcare plan, their child care plan is have the grandparents do it. That's what they have. That's what they have in store for us older people. We get to just be, we got to babysit our grandkids. TikTok's doing a flash gold. This was really late in the live, but it's just the little heart. If you guys want to heart me. Jim, did you vote for Trump or Harris?
Harris.
Jim Barb?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you for tapping. Yeah, it's only one little coin, but it helps with the algorithm, and that's probably why they do these. flash goals because it kind of helps the algorithm and it helps the engagement. Leanne, welcome.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Great. I heard one of the people online yesterday talking to you about Romania and Ceausescu. I adopted my daughter from there in 1989. They took all birth control away from the country. He wanted to make an army. The whole country went after him, killed his whole
Unalived,
family.
unalived.
Unalived his whole family in the middle of Bucharest Square. So I'm just saying, if these guys are doing things like this or planning on taking away birth control, you never know what's going to happen. I saw these babies in these orphanages. There must have been 100 row by row by row, no rows
Yes.
in between.
Yep.
All the babies tied.
Yep. I saw those pictures.
Yeah, my daughter came out of an infant unit because my interpreter's mom had an in there, or else they wanted me to adopt a child because my husband's a painter and decorator, and adopt a child with no arms, no legs, and paints with their mouth. So this will stop at one point. People will.
He'll go too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I wanted to ask if anyone went to the rallies this weekend. Did you hear anything about them?
I saw them all over the internet and stuff, not on TV much, but I did see them all over TikTok and places like that. But me coming on here every day and doing this is my formal protest, but I don't go to protests because I don't want to have to drag my kids. Andrea in the comment section said she did.
But I couldn't go this weekend, so I was just wondering if anyone actually experienced it and went.
Some people in the comments said they did.
Great. I wish I could have gone myself. I just wanted to make sure that people were still going to these things.
Oh yeah, they were very well attended from what I could see.
Great. Okay, well that's all I wanted to know. I wanted to tell you. Thanks, son. Have a great night.
You too. I appreciate you. Thank you. You as well. Nelson, hello. Nelson? He might have stepped away. Okay, he'll request back up if he. I love Nelson. He's such a sweetheart. Kale, hi, welcome.
Hi, Java.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Val. Hope y'all are.
We're doing all right. What's on your mind?
Comment about.
Is he can you hear him, Val?
About the Garcia case. It seems. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me okay?
It keeps cutting. It keeps like going out as soon as you start to speak. Try again. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this any better?
Yeah. If you could start over because we didn't hear anything.
Okay. So this is regarding the Garcia case, and sort of a trend that I've been noticing with MAGA is, since they're wrong on the facts, they've started going after Garcia as abusing his wife, right?
Correct.
And all of a sudden, MAGA cares about women being abused.
They don't. It's because they have no other defense.
Well, they character assassination, but in a couple of other lives, I actually heard people pushing back and saying, because this one guy was saying something to the effect of, well, she said it happened. Doesn't matter if he was, charged or convicted. In some states, just the woman saying it means you can go to jail. Blah blah blah.
It's still good due process, though.
Yeah, exactly. But somebody was smart enough to push back or ask the question. Okay, so how do you feel about Peach and Carol?
Mm-hmm.
And this dude twisted himself into fucking pretzels
Yep.
to say how that was different.
Of course.
Although he had just said whatever Garcia did or didn't do, he abused his wife. He's a criminal. He should burn in hell. And I'm not telling y'all anything you don't know.
But that's why I always say I'm not up here defending the character of that man. I don't know him. I've read the court records, but I don't know him. I'm here defending the rule of law, due process, and the Constitution.
Yeah, I think that is the correct way to frame things. But whether you want to defend Garcia or not, they seem to not be able to comprehend that even if he had done that, was charged with it and convicted, he would have gotten punished for that.
Right. And if he was a part of a gang,
correct,
then he would still be afforded due process. If he beat his wife, he would still be afforded due process. So it really doesn't matter if he did or didn't do it. He has a chance in this country. You have a chance to present your evidence to a judge, and then a judgment is made. And then if they said, yeah, he's guilty, we need to deport him. His withhold order was just that he couldn't be deported to El Salvador. If they decided to deport him, they could deport him to another country that would take him.
Yep.
But so it's. I don't think that that they can't comprehend it. I think it's just like everything else. It's cognitive dissonance. They know it's wrong. They know it's against the Constitution. They're either in denial or they have to somehow shift the blame to somewhere else but Trump.
Well, that's exactly true, and I guess kind of what really pushes me over the edge is not just how dense they are or how disingenuous they are, but I was really hoping that as things got worse and worse and worse, and it's only been 3 months.
It's been 3 months.
It's gotten worse and worse and worse in 3 months, and I was like, somehow these people are going to get the message, and it just seems like they're not. They're just not willing to.
Until it hits them personally.
Well,
they will.
If it does hit them personally, I feel like they're still going to defend him.
Some will. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, that was all I had to say.
Yep. They'll be eating ramen every meal, and they'll be like, "It's not Trump's fault," Yeah.
Well, it galled me to hear someone, all of a sudden care about the abuse of women when Trump has 2 dozen allegations against him.
Yes.
An actual court case. So, anyway, like I said, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I guess I needed to get that off my chest.
No, sometimes you just got to get it off your chest, man. And luckily, I get to do that every day on here. I get all kinds of shit off my chest, so I understand the need to just get it off your chest. I know you're like, I'm preaching to the choir. We all know this, but somehow it just feels good to get it out.
Well, thank y'all for doing what you do.
Of course.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Kale.
Okay, bye.
Appreciate you. Bye. Yeah, I did hear that today. I did read that today, too. The FDA is suspending milk quality testing because they don't have enough employees after the Doge cuts. Hope you guys don't care about clean milk. Jesus Christ. I guess I'll be switching to almond milk. I don't really use milk other than for cooking and stuff because my kids don't like it, so they don't eat cereal or do milk other than if we have to have it in a recipe. But if I need to, can you use almond milk as a substitution for regular milk?
No.
Oh shit. All right. Hey, IZ Mike, how are you?
All right, how are you doing? Canned milk would be the way to go.
Okay.
Or powdered milk. Do they still
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I think powdered milk is gross.
Nasty.
But if it's in a recipe, you can't really tell the difference. Like if it's
That's true.
in a recipe, but just to drink powdered milk, bleh, no, it's gross.
Oh, yeah. Or put it in cereal.
Oh yeah, no.
For all of you saying that you can use almond milk in recipes, almond milk in mashed potatoes, cashew milk in mashed potatoes, it's gross. Do not try it. Don't do it. Just get canned milk. Canned milk is concentrated. Add water. You're good to go.
Exactly. I'll be like constant. It was at the constant
Yeah.
Evaporated milk.
evaporated.
Evaporated milk.
Okay, yeah, you just add water to it.
It's way better, and it actually is creamier using it in potatoes. I even use both condensed milk sometimes if I want sweet. Or for coffee.
Oh, you're breaking up real bad, Jim.
It's cheaper too, actually.
Yeah,
Evaporated milk.
exactly. Exactly. I should start stocking up on evaporated milk because it'll be flying off the shelves here soon.
Right, exactly. The Dollar General, I think, has it.
Oh, I was gonna say Dollar Tree has it too, so it's like, yeah.
Sorry, not Dollar Tree. Yeah. so I was gonna just say about that. You were having some discussion about the Pope earlier.
Yes.
And
Miss
I know
Irish,
that,
thank you for subscribing.
Well, I'm Catholic, and I know that I remember that George W. Bush went to the funeral of Pope John Paul II in 2005 when he passed away, and so that's why I was saying I think there are presidents that have gone to them before, but it's just kind of a side note. But yeah, I remember that. I do remember seeing that because they showed his funeral. I remember that.
I think you guys are missing my point. The people that you're saying went to these funerals though were religious. Joe Biden, for example, is Catholic.
Right.
Trump is not religious. He's never attended church. He is not a Catholic. So that's where I am confused. I also am confused at the fact that this is not a political leader. This is a religious leader. So and here's why I'm bringing it up, and this is the conversation I had with this person was, if a head of a Muslim church, an imam died, would they go to his services?
No.
No. Right. See, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm just asking these questions because I really believe that this crossover of what Trump's trying to do is to make himself look like he is a religious leader. He is not a religious leader. He is literally using Christianity to harm the American people.
Correct.
Yes, he's the Antichrist for sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't belong anywhere near the St. Peter's Basilica for sure.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if it got struck by lightning when he walked in the door.
Right. This is like something that back in the day. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere near that place. And neither did Vance, by the way, even though he is Catholic. It's like, ugh, just seeing Mr. Maybelline walk in there.
Mr. Maybelline!
He was the last person to have an audience with the Pope, and it's just like, oh, on Easter Sunday, and
Yeah, but he insisted. What I think was really gross because the Pope sent his number 2 to meet with Vance because he's been sick. He's been in the hospital. He's not been well, and Vance threw a big fit and almost like forced it till the Pope agreed to meet with him, and then anyway.
Yeah, that's just it's so gross. It's just everything gross about it. But,
it is. It's just gross. I agree. It's just gross.
Yeah. And the only thing I think about, the Pope too, because I know the Pope, he's known as the Bishop of Rome, but he's also the head of state of Vatican City, which is an actual country. It's a separate from Italy. So that's like, I don't know if that's why a lot of heads of states are going to it, but even so, with Jim's right, I mean, just, they should keep that separate. And especially with Trump, he has nowhere near that place. He does not belong there.
No, he does not. And I think that I think the reason why Trump wants to go is because there are conservative people that are going to be voting for the next new Pope, and there are more progressive cardinals that are going to be voting for the next new Pope.
That's true.
So, and Cardinal Burke is one from America that they're probably going to be pushing. He's a far right winger, anti-everything, anti-LGBTQ, and everything. So he's probably wanting to go, for a photo op because he's an attention whore. But number 2, I think he wants to have an influence over who the next Pope is. That if it's a right winger, it'll more align with what he's doing here, and he won't get like letters from the Pope like JD Vance did about their inhumanity with the immigrants.
Right, right.
Can I have the big screen real quick, Diava, so I can read this to you guys?
That's my personal opinion. I don't know anything about. That's my personal
if you
opinion.
look up whether or not the Pope is a political figure, it will literally tell you that in addition to the expansion of the Christian faith and doctrine, modern popes are involved in eucharism and interfaith dialogue, charitable work, and the defense of human rights. Over time, the papacy accrued broad secular and political influence, eventually rivaling those of territorial rulers. That's the problem. Is that the papacy has changed from what it is supposed to do, which is talking about human connection, human rights, interfaith dialogue, and bridging those gaps. It's
Right.
not supposed to be involved in political influence. So
Correct.
I don't care if he's the head of Vatican State or not. He's not supposed to be engaging in political realm. And Trump's going to be very disappointed to find out that what this Pope did do in 12 years was he literally was the one who put in 80% of the cardinals. So good luck with that, because they're gonna be defending what he did for them.
Yeah, that I knew. That's for sure. And I remember, yeah, he did put it, and I'd forgotten about that. But yeah, he did influence a lot of the cardinals in there, so that he could hopefully continue his legacy. I hope he does.
I hope he does too, because he was a very good proponent or supporter or whatever word I'm trying to think of poor people and immigrants and stuff like that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. And he was big on immigration for sure, and that you should never mistreat the immigrant. And he was a very peaceful man. I really loved him a lot. And just.
I mean, I'm not Catholic, but I do know what a good man looks like.
Yeah.
He seemed to be like humble. And I think if I remember correctly, one of the first things he did was wash people's feet when he became the Pope or whatever. And that's a symbol of humility.
Yeah.
And him speaking out to the Trump administration about their treatment of immigrants and stuff like that, I think just showed his character. And so even though I didn't know him, nor am I of the Catholic faith, I thought that he was a nice, decent man.
Yeah, he certainly was.
And he knows that society is progressing. He knows that the church has to progress too, or you're going to lose more members.
Exactly.
And he also welcomed a lot of, I was watching a document or something on him this morning, and he also brought in a lot of LGBTQ people to these.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, the LGBTQ congregations within the Catholic Church and bishops and stuff. Or not bishops. Is that what they're called? Bishops?
No, they have bishops and archbishops and cardinals.
Okay, of these different parishes and stuff that were also LGBTQ, and so he was slowly like mainstreaming. I guess you could, if that's the right word. I hope I'm saying it right, but mainstreaming the LGBTQ sex in with everybody else to, inclusion, basically making sure that they're included.
And allowing the blessings of same-sex marriages, he allowed for the priests to do that.
Right.
And so that was a big thing, because a lot of the conservatives in the Catholic Church were like, and I was like, yeah. So, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, we'll see who they elect next, and after they have the conclave in the 9 days or after the funeral. So,
I think it was me personally.
I just want to encourage everybody to go to Jolly the Ginger's page and look at what he posted regarding Vance and his visit with the Pope. It's hilarious.
Oh, Jolly Good Ginger.
I like Jolly.
I like Jolly too.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to get my 2 cents on that. But,
Thank you, Mike.
I love you all. I love you. I love Jem. I love Val.
And we love you too.
All right. I'm going to take off now. But,
thank you, Mike.
Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Apparently. Hell, he broke the Ohio State trophy. Then he. Oh, you know what Ava said last night when we were talking about Vance and the Pope? Well, because I was telling her the story about how JD Vance went and saw the Pope, and then like 4 or 5 hours later he died. And she was like, So basically, oh, hold on. I have an Amber Alert come up on my phone. Hold on. Okay, missing child out of Dade County.
Oh no.
Yep. But now I feel funny saying it, but Ava said that JD Vance was basically the anti-holy water. She's like, so he's anti-holy water? And I'm like, oh my God. Yes.
I'm just saying that what Jolly posted was, you know that game F, Marry, Unalive? If you had to choose 3 people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he put a picture of a couch, a picture of his wife, and a picture of the Pope.
Oh, Ava was, I told her, she goes, make sure you give me credit if you use that tomorrow. I said, I will. So he's the anti-holy water. I thought it was so funny. She's so funny.
That is.
She's so funny. Ava's so funny.
Like, if I was to meet Vance now, I'd be afraid to shake his hand.
Hold on, Topher, you have a wicked echo. And she wanted credit. Oh, absolutely. Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine, but I can also hear myself. So it's a major echo.
You got a bad echo. You're going to drop down, come back to it.
Or if you're on Bluetooth, turn off the Bluetooth. One of the two.
But I forgot what I was even going to say. What were you just talking about? Oh, I was going to tell you, see, it's not funny anymore. I was going to tell you, it would just make your hand look like paisley. Is this better?
Yes.
Paisley. Yeah, yes.
How y'all doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. I wanted to let y'all know. Well, first of all, I wanted to say, Ava's going to be a stand-up comedian.
God, she's so funny.
She's going to be a comedian. I can tell you.
She's just naturally funny. She doesn't even try to be. Like, you know, there's people who try to be funny and they're just not. Like, when they try really hard.
I can definitely see her on TV shows.
God, she's so funny.
But Val, I wanted to let you know, well, everybody, I got approved for an apartment.
Yay!
It's in Grand Prairie. It's off of 161. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Nice.
At least you get the new highway. Yeah. And so you said Energy Ogre. I'm gonna have to look into them because that's the only downside about moving out of Denton County is having to pick a different energy supplier. The rent is significantly. You'll be fine. It's easy. Yeah, the rent is significantly cheaper than where I'm at now.
Thank you, guys.
That's the main thing. But I told myself if Governor Hot Wheels wins re-election, I'm moving out of Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to do it anymore after.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, like this is the stuff that he's just been putting out, saying that he's going to. What did he say? He wasn't going to do something with Harris County's elections until he could prove that they're not cheating. When Harris County is. The reason why he's doing it is because Harris County is primarily Democrat.
Correct. Isn't that where like Houston is?
Where is Harris County, Val? It's like Houston.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I just know that that's where he was not fond of because he was saying that they were having discrepancies in their elections, which is not true. He's just mad that it's primarily Democrat.
That's also why he was tossing out ballots of Democrats.
Yeah, so, and I don't like the fact that governors don't have limit terms here either, so.
Oh, you might be stuck with that motherfucker forever.
Yeah, until he croaks.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely eyeing some possibilities. So, because I'm in this with my new job, I'm in a contract with them for 2 years anyway.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be able to go anywhere for 2 years anyway. So that's what's going on in my life right now.
Well, I'm glad you got a cheaper apartment. That's really good news.
They had a special going on to where they were like knocking a percentage off your monthly rent if you signed a lease for a certain amount of months.
Okay.
So I did a 13-month lease for I think $11.30 a month. So,
Oh my God, that's expensive.
It's a really nice place. I mean, it's much smaller, but it's just me.
Yeah, you can. If it's a little smaller, you can hack it. Like right, it's like you don't have a whole family.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a dining room table that's obviously not going to fit in the new place, so I have to get rid of it. But it's okay.
Yeah.
So
sacrifices, man.
I just wanted to say hello to everybody. Jen,
Well, thank you.
Talked to you in a while. I hope everything is going okay with you.
It's going.
It's going.
It's going.
Yeah. So anyway.
But I'm glad to hear things are looking up for you.
Yeah, it's my new job was going great, and then my boss decided to kind of sayonara. Last week was her last day, and I told her, I was like, well, you would leave like right 3 months into my employment, and she's the one that hired me. And she's like, she and another boss that I've ever had were the only two nursing managers I've ever liked. So like she's not power hungry. She doesn't very fair, and most of the nursing managers I've worked for didn't really care about the nurses or their personal lives outside of work, and just were really horrible people to work for. And
yeah, I mean, we're even though we're workers or employees, we're human beings too, and things happen.
Right, and so she and another boss that I had before were the previous one that I had that I liked to actually still talk to this day. So I'm just curious to. I mean, we're all kind of like uncertain of who they're going to pick to replace her. So we're just hoping that whoever it is not a total axe wound.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly.
That's what we're all worried about right now. But other than that, it's going great.
Well, good. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, and I hope you find something soon. I mean, my sister is a paralegal as well, so I can ask her if she knows of any.
Yeah, the conundrum I'm in is that they always want, like, every job that's for paralegals that I try to get for remote, they want 5 years experience, and I don't have 5 years of experience. I have the schooling. I've went to school, and then I worked for a disability attorney for several months or 6 months, almost a year. Yeah, it was almost a year. So I don't have the requisite 5 years of experience on the job, and so I can't ever get 5 years of experience if I can't get anyone to give me a chance.
Yeah,
so
that's like.
So it's like I don't have the 5 years experience because I can't find anybody that will give me a job to give me the experience.
Yeah.
What about applying for legal secretary, starting there and moving?
I've done both. I've done legal secretary. I've done like an intake person, like where they call and you just take down the information, just to get my foot in the door. I've tried applying for those too, and it might be because of my age. I don't know, but I just, in my experiences, I've never gotten a single interview.
Yeah, because my sister's in her 50s as well, so I can.
Well, yeah. If you have anything, just let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask her about it and see what I can get. See if she has some advice.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Well, you have a great rest of your day, Topher.
You too. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
I'm so glad things are going well for him. It's fun that whenever especially since we've been on this app, we've all been here every day and kind of know what's happening in each other's lives because they come up and tell us. We get to see them going through stuff like rough patches, but then make it to the other side, which is really fun. Like, for me, it is anyway. Boxer Mom, I'm assuming you have a poem for us, ma'am.
I did about Diava.
Do you have? Yeah.
Family.
Do you have? Okay, really quick. Do you have something else you want to talk about really quick before you read the poem, so I can run to the restroom and not miss your poem?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I can talk, but I didn't mean that to
I was trying to wait 10 more minutes. I just can't. I gotta go.
We'll wait on you. You go ahead. How are y'all doing today, Jim and Val?
Good.
Did you watch any of the debate?
No.
What debate? I wish I could give you a virtual. I do give you a virtual, but I wish I was in person to help you. What debate? What are we talking about? What's it called, Val? What's that?
You mean town halls?
No. It was for a group of, I'm assuming all TikTokers. I don't know.
She's talking about the TikTok debates that are going on in College Station.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Some of them kids now, it's like, wow. Wow. Let me just put it that way. Well, I do have a little bit of good news.
What is it?
My dad's left vocal cord has been paralyzed, and so I can't.
I'm back.
Now he went and had a procedure done on Friday where they put a needle in there and do something, I don't know, put some medicine in there so we can hear him better. So
Good. That's good news.
yes, it really is, because he doesn't qualify for the other, like for the box or whatever, because of his situation, his health, and we didn't really have that much. He just wants his voice back, to be able to talk to people better. So it's nice to get that gift back for a while,
Okay,
All right, ready?
I'm ready. Hit me. I ran all the way back.
All right. All right. This is called
I can
strategy.
tell you she didn't run to that bathroom because we know what would have happened.
Exactly. No, it's running back.
No, that's a fact. This is called strategy and signal, or how we plan wars with thumbs. I feel like a smart ass lately.
I love it.
Oh yes, America, the land of the free, home of the group chat, where our war plans now come with read receipts. So forget Pentagon briefings, forget classified folders. We're doing it live on Signal because nothing says top secret like a push notification next to your dog's meat. Now, hey, just a thought. Should we move the aircraft carriers east? Send at 2:07 a.m. Between a gif of SpongeBob and a TikTok of someone fake crying over gas prices. Great idea, Journal. Very secure, very technical. Trump would be so proud. Disappearing messages. Cool. But y'all forgot screen recording exists in autocorrect. So now we're booming the wrong coordinates because retaliate turned into resuscitate. And shout out to whoever used the thumbs up emoji to approve a drone strike. That is very nuanced to folks. Now, imagine being a world power and signing off on war like you're RSVPing to a pop-up. Meanwhile, China's got spies in satellites, Russia's deep in cyber warfare, and we're over here using Signal like it's a side quest on a Call of Duty group chat. So, bro, did you deploy the fleet? Oops, wrong chat. Oops, just arm the Pacific with a typo. Yeah, remember, when they told us loose sink ships, now it's make sure your new codes aren't in the group chat with your fantasy football league. So, yeah, we may be the strongest military on earth. But now we coordinated with read receipts, emoji reactions, and fingers that type classified like it's gossip. So if we end up in World War III, don't worry, you'll find out on Signal. Right after someone sends a disappearing pic of their lunch. God bless America, and maybe encrypt that shit.
Right. That was so good. I love when you get snarky like that. It gives me life. I love it.
I'm working on some more of them, but that was a lighter version of Taylor.
No, that was good. I liked it. That was funny. I mean, you got to make fun of it. It's not funny. Like we all know it's not funny because it's very serious. But when there's nothing you can do, and making a joke of it, I think is how we get through this shit. Gonna have to use some humor.
I'm gonna say this. I'll drop. Here's my thing. Like, do these people not have family members in the military or have family members that have a health ailment, and they're just letting the health stuff be slashed and cut, and then letting their family member possibly, be in a get hurt because of this stupid crap.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not going to change until somebody up high's family is affected.
Well, it ain't going to be long.
No.
That's the case, but I'm going to drop so maybe you get one more person.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your writings with us. They're always spot on and so funny.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. What did you say, Beth?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Y'all are my heroes, and I appreciate y'all every day.
Oh,
Thank you for
hero.
giving me the place to do this. And Jim, I hope you feel better. All right.
Thank you, Boxer Mom. I got to say wee. There's one more person in the box. So see, that worked out perfectly. I got to everybody today. Holy moly. Deb, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing better. How are you, Val and Jim, doing?
Good. I mean, for the most part, same shit, different day, but
That's true. I wanted to add something. I know Val is very versed on history and all that, but did you know that the first concentration camp was for his political opposition? And that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
The stuff that he's talking about being built over there.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the homegrowns.
Yeah, he's doing the 1930s playbook.
100%.
But just to the T. And that's what I'm fearful of, because that was the first people that he put in there. And the people after that were the academics.
And then disabled, LGBTQ, and then he finally got to the Jews.
Yes, but he got rid of the people that would speak out.
Correct.
The political opposition, the academics, and then the clergy. Then he went after those people.
Mm-hmm.
So there was nobody to stand up for these people. So that's what we need to be aware of. And that's just what I wanted to add.
Thank you.
I wanted to pardon me?
I just noticed Jim disappeared.
Oh.
But I do want to add a I'm off to obedience class with my 6-pound chihuahua, and I'm real curious as to how that's going to go. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Well, I'll share when I do. But
Fill
Okay.
us in on that, then.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to fill us in on that.
That's funny.
I'm going to fill you in on that, because that's going to be interesting. Because I saw a dog across the street, or just out my door. Out the window, I saw a beautiful Alaskan. I assume a Malamute, but I called him or her over to me because it looked like, he was beautiful and well taken care of. And he was coming to me happy, and all of a sudden he stopped and gave that scared bark. And I thought the door was shut, but evidently it wasn't. And she came out, all 6 pounds of her, charging at him. And I was like, oh my God.
That's my dog. My dog's like 8 pounds, 10 pounds, and he's like, he acts like he's like some kind of a killer or something. Like, I'm so badass.
Yeah, the problem is I can't catch her, so I didn't know if that dog was going to eat her or not. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so tonight ought to be interesting. My supervisor is going to be there with her dog too. So that ought to be fun.
That'll be. You'll have to let us know how that goes.
I will. You guys have a good evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Jem, if you're still here, thank you for joining me today. Val, thank you for joining me today. Thank you, everybody, for the likes, the taps, the loves, the gifts, the cash apps, the subs, everything. Just thank you for your support. I couldn't do this every single day without you. I just appreciate you so, so much. And we'll get through this together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my community or the community we've built here. I just love and appreciate all of you so, so much. I don't think I can convey properly how grateful I am for all of you and for your support of me. It just means the whole entire world to me. So thank you so, so much. I am humbled by your generosity, and I really, really I can't tell you how thankful I am enough. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do it all over again. I love you guys. Mwah. Have a good night. Thanks. All right. Well, I've people over here on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to do this all over again. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I don't know why my live stream is not ending. I hit the end button and nothing is happening. I can't get out of here.